Hey everybody, this is True Demon, the Devil's Stockbroker. I'm going to do a little bit of a TA live stream on some of the tickers that are moving this afternoon. Um, we got some surprises coming from Progenity after volume came back into the stock, so give people a few minutes to start filtering into the YouTube stream. Something tells me that you have an unfair advantage, Space Goat. Okay. All right. What's up, Sean? These are surprisingly bouncy this afternoon. So let's take a look at what we got here. So Progenity had this falling wedge that we've been sitting in for better part of a month, 2 months, and we've now finally had a solid breakout. So I'm pretty excited. Finally seeing some action in Progenity, and just like I said, as soon as we exited out of that zone of demand, that 160 just popped right away. Now we've got volume coming back into the stock. Very exciting. If we can see a little bit of a ramp coming in, maybe we'll get a little bit of consolidation going down between this zone of 180 to $2 for a while before we see our next big move. But this this nice strong bull flag finally breaking out is basically what I've been waiting for this whole time. OBV is still not moving though. The volume is not as significant as we want, or would indicate a major move. But at the very least, now that the price has popped a bit, it's bound to get some attention. Take a look at this on the 15-minute. So this is actually looking very similar to how Progenity's daily chart looked like back in September. It's a lot of consolidation. And then as soon as we have that breakout of that wedge, just can't stop it. This was the major resistance that we wanted to break. So this is what we've been waiting for, this 160 mark. Now that we've broken that, we can safely assume that that's now become our support. And we have this ascending level of support here, just based off of the higher lows that Progenity has been establishing. Go ahead and reset this just a little bit, make that easier to see. So the zone of demand, I'm going to also get rid of that, clean this chart up a little bit. Okay. That should make things a little bit easier to see. So this area, this 160 to 165, has been a continuous ceiling for us, and now that we've shattered through that, we need to go and find our next level of resistance, which it looks like we're already at. It'll be right here, based off of these lower lows that Progenity created. Oops, back down here. So Progenity's 1, 2, 3 bounces off of 178 or 180, I should say. That'll create some pretty heavy resistance for us moving up here. So if you're looking to get out of some calls or roll them out, this is actually a pretty good time to do it. I myself have about 30 call contracts in Progenity for next Friday that are now they're doing really well actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my profits on those. I'll take uh, I'll take 60% of those out of there, lock in some of those profits. So I got 30 calls. I'm gonna sell 20 of them, see if I can get a fill at 8 cents, and just make sure that I'm securing my bags. And then I'll let the house's money play with the rest and see what happens. Maybe we break this resistance. Maybe we retrace a little bit. We'll find out. So while we're talking about Progenity, there was actually some pretty excellent news that came out as well. This was pointed out to me in the Discord. Go ahead and switch windows here so everybody can see what I'm looking at. So this was an interesting communication that came from the University of Utah. COVID linked to serious health complications during pregnancy. Shout out to Savvy Trading that went and found this. Medical doctor Tori D. Metz was doing some research at the University of Utah, and there was some interesting connections between some grants. There was mention that they received some fees and grants from Pfizer as well as grants from Guest Vision. And then an assistant researcher received personal fees from Merck. And one more, Alan Tita, received grants from Pfizer. And if you notice, we have an honorable mention here where there was a relationship established between Mage Constantine, Baxter International, Momentum Pharmaceuticals, Progenity, AMAG Pharmaceuticals, and OBS Eva. So these are required disclosures of conflicts of interest based on grant money that was issued to researchers. So this is an interesting piece of information that Progenity was included in this disclosure alongside Pfizer. And Pfizer, as I recall, has not invested entirely too much into pregnancy complications research, but given that they have their mRNA vaccines that are getting more and more attention, obviously in response to treating COVID and preventing it. And we know that Progenity is also deep into this research as well with their Precludia product. So because of that, there's an assumed relationship here. So just one more little piece to the puzzle in linking Pfizer and Progenity together. And Progenity also issued a tweet. There's a conference that's going to be hosted in Belgium on gastroenterology, which is the study of the gastrointestinal tract, the GI system, intestines, and so forth, specifically to inspect and talk on the correlation between tofacitinib, which we know is a drug made by Pfizer, and its exposure and endoscopic outcomes in ulcerative colitis patients. And it's interesting that Progenity is talking about this when we specifically know that tofacitinib is a drug manufactured and licensed out by Pfizer. So just again, one more piece to the puzzle. Excuse me, doing a little bit of cleanup on my on all of these tabs I've got open here. My PC's running a little bit slow. Man, I'm loving this volume on Progenity. We've established one, our lowest low, and then one, two, three higher lows. And it's just staying on track with it. I really would love to see us break this $1.80 resistance today. Might be too much to ask for though. Got to set some additional support here. That's set at 167. I think 166 is more accurate. All right. Let's go over to the chat, see what everybody's talking about here. Lots of people excited about Sensionics. Yeah, we haven't checked out Sensionics yet. What's Sensionics up to? So Sensionics has been moving strong. We finally broke all previous resistance that we've been looking at. Let's actually look at this on the daily chart so we get a perspective on just how much momentum this thing has had in the last few days. That's nuts. Sensionics has been forming this wedge over the course of more than a year. So this was a huge run back in February, right alongside AMC's run to $12, I want to say, after it came down from 20 down to 5. I'd have to actually overlay the charts. It's funny, if I compare AMC to Sensionics, a lot of the moves echo each other. Sensionics just kind of moves on a delayed response. Sensionics moved here, then AMC spiked up to $20. Sensionics moved a few weeks later. AMC squeezed to $70 in a few days after that. That's when Sensionics went to went to 5. Pretty funny. So now we see Sensionics making its big move first. AMC is curling as well. That's why I really love TradingView. Being able to lay these charts over top of each other really gives you some crazy insight. Like, look at this. Look at the echoing of these moves. Just goes to show you that algorithms are pretty predictable things, aren't they? So if Sensionics is moving a little bit early right now, I'm wondering what AMC is about to do because it's starting to show some strength here. Fitzy. I love it. Yeah, thanks everybody for making time to come and visit with us. We're trying a little bit of a new format right now since we had our live stream yesterday that was hosted by the analysts, recorded and hosted by Cap Morris, the chief analyst here at Hell's Trading Floor. It went really well, so he's handling all the tab switching for me, and that'll give us a little bit more freedom. We can let the analysts come in, chat about what stocks they're looking at after we cover this TA on the main diamond plays here. Take a look at what our alerts have been doing because I got slammed with a lot of alerts from TradingView this morning. Where are my TV alerts? There we go. So let's go ahead and take AMC off of this chart because it's kind of just throwing us percentages. We want to look at the price. So this is the big move that we've been waiting for with Sensionics, this big breakout here. And if you notice the OBB, there's, for whatever reason, the wedge is gone. I'll fix that really quickly. But the OBB has had this big wedge that we see here in the OBB is something that I've been comparing to other charts for big squeeze plays. And this breakdown and then break up and out through the tip of the wedge is kind of what I've been looking for as a sign of a big run coming. I mean, like squeeze quality run. So now that we've peeked through this, I'm getting hammered with alerts every time it goes switches from red to green. What we just need is a little more volume because this level, this 620 million on balance shares, this is the money right here. And the price doesn't have to move much. What we just need is volume. Now the MACD is still showing some strength right now, so it looks like we still got some room to run, but the RSI is a little hot, so we may need to give it some time to cool off. So we're going to keep an eye on this one, but Sensionics, I like it to $5. We'll see what it moves like here in the next couple of months. I think that the real big moves and what kind of uh, whether or not it's going to actually squeeze shorts out of their positions is going to be a move from just from here to $4 would be plenty. It would at the very least put some pretty significant pressure on them. Next one on our list is BKKT. So this one had a really awesome day yesterday. This was a excellent move. It closed the day 31% higher. Oh, yep. Oh, 34% or thereabouts. The chart's not exact, but over 30% gain. and we gapped down today, but we've already filled that gap now. So if you wanted to get into BKKT, for those of you in the Discord that have been watching this one, this was the opportunity right here because the strength was still there. On balance, volume is moving up with it. It's a really great sign. The MACD is getting ready to cross here after it cooled off from this gap down. Looking really nice. The other bit of info on BKKT was the short interest. I'll go ahead and pull this up on my Vortex chart. So the exchange reported short interest is at the same place that it was back when it was trading at around $9.40. The short interest spiked big time after it squeezed up to 42. So right now we're estimating the short interest is at about 25%, which is pretty big for a stock of this size. Like it's a pretty small float, less than 50 million shares. I don't care too much about days to cover. What I do care about, though, is the age of these loans. About a month back. So if I were to go all the way back to January, we'll say the 12th. That'll put the average price of these shorts at around $6.40, $6.50 thereabouts. So what I'm estimating is that if we see the price make a big move and start to challenge those previous lows, that'll start putting some pressure on them. And a huge FTD spike. That's interesting. Exactly 3 trading days after this big red candle. Huh. I'm wondering if that was puts going in the money that couldn't be hedged for. Because remember, in order for fulfillment of assigned puts, somebody has to post cash. So if there was a lot of naked puts against this stock that suddenly went in the money, and somebody didn't have the cash to post collateral, then there would have been a lot of liquidations, margin calls, basically, for bulls. Not exactly a fun day for them. Now that BKKT is on the upside, starting to show quite a lot of strength, exiting out of this very long bull channel that's been going for better part of 3 months. Yeah, this bull channel's been here for a while. So this breakout has been expected for a while. It's kind of like an automatic bounce. But now that we see all this volume coming into it, that's actually really good for us, for those of us that caught this bottom, looking for a squeeze. It's way oversold. Even after this big move, it's still oversold. If you look at it on a weekly time frame. Give you more of an idea when we're looking at RSI. All right. How do I think the presentation will go for Prague tomorrow? That's a good question. I don't really know actually, but I imagine it's going to have an effect on Pfizer more than anybody, just because it's their drug and the research study on it is most likely going to affect them directly. But I have a feeling that since the efficacy of the drug has been proven, and it's known to be extremely effective for treating symptoms of ulcerative colitis, that whatever the research study entails, if we're talking about like a smart pill that's able to directly deploy the tofacitinib to the gastrointestinal tract rather than having it travel through pill form and be dissolved in the stomach, having the drug delivered directly to the area that's affected by the UC condition. I'm imagining that they're going to show that lower doses are necessary. There's fewer side effects, and that the efficacy of the drug only increases with smaller doses when it's applied directly to the affected area. And if that if that's the news that we can expect, and Progenity follows up with, "Oh yeah, hey, guess what? We are partnering with Pfizer, and we have the pill that can do that. It can deliver tofacitinib directly to the affected area." That's the kind of catalyst that we're looking for. Oh, hey, Kat, you know what I just realized? If you're, let's see, you're hosting the, oh, never mind. I see it. You have the clock and all that stuff. We'll have to work on the other stream elements and things like that.
Just decided to keep it simple for this one, just so we can get it started. But
Yeah, no worries, no worries. We'll work it out and get a little bit, get a little bit tighter.
yep, yep.
Blocks and blocks. Yeah, sorry about PFE. The earnings were pretty unexpectedly low. Um, but it's still bounced off of support. I'm honestly not that worried about it. This I mean, it was still a green earnings. I mean, there was still there was a lot of surprise on the EPS. So I was expecting there to be much more actually, but the sell off, like, I'm not panicking about that. This kind of a move tells me that somebody was looking for accumulation. Let me go ahead and delete some of these chart elements because they're not really necessary anymore. Just just a lot of dirtiness. All right.
Yo, brother, it looks like we got Johnny Joplin asking if you could check out B as in boy, C as in cat TX. It's in the YouTube chat.
BCTX. BriaCell Therapeutics Corp. All right. Heavily algo traded. Very heavily algo traded. It's an interesting pop in June. Hmm. You have a head and shoulders here where it broke down. It's a very strange looking head and shoulders, but I do see it. This would be your neckline. So it's breaking above, or it's looking to break above the neckline. Could be a reversal. MACD's crossing. RSI is cool, coming up after a big oversold. That gap down was pretty serious. Yeah, it could be an interesting one. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, that could be actually an interesting play. So it broke out of this bear channel to the downside, but it might be recovering. I would actually wait to see how it reacts to this resistance that it's at right now. Um, I would want to see this thing cross $8 before I made any kind of entry point. Um, it looks like it looks like it could break down further, but who knows? Like this actually is part of a much larger pattern for a far longer period of time. Like going back, if we go back to this thing on, see, well, we're more than a 5-year downtrend on this stock. So that it's consolidating here is a good sign. Um, I don't know anything about the company, so I can't tell you what their fundamentals are like or what their prospects are, what their products are, or anything of that nature. So you'd have to do your own due diligence there. But if this is something that you're looking in for a long play and you think that this is the bottom just based on fundamentals, then this could actually be an interesting break of a long-term downtrend, and you might be onto something. Um, I'll go ahead and double check on Ortex and see what their short interest looks like. Short interest is 11.9% or 1.75 million shares. This company has a lot of uh, this is a very low float stock. 86% utilized on its short interest. I'll go ahead and show this. Whoa. Whoa, Vortex. Okay, so days to cover. That's kind of a silly looking short interest trend, but okay. Looks like a heart rate monitor, like big P wave. Huh. All right. Any failures to deliver? Whoa. That's interesting. 1.6 million. That's 12% of their stock. All right. Well, that has my attention. The failures to deliver on this are a little bit ridiculous. Let's see. After this move, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, that started beginning an uptrend. Can I get somebody from the analyst team to go ahead and run a query against Scourge for this ticker and let me know what the inspect squeeze and the TD squeeze strategy on BCTX is. Um, I'd like to know what the short interest and the short exempts are doing and what they've been doing for the last 3 months. And let me know if you guys find anything interesting there. This one is interesting. It's got my attention. Mr. Head wants to know about what I see in Tesla's future. I feel like I'd be encroaching onto Matt Core's territory since he's like the greatest Tesla trader ever. But I can take a look at it for your sake. Whoops, still on that. Still on the other window. Switching windows is still a little bit difficult for me. Trying to keep track of that. I'll put BCTX on the watch list.
Looks like AMC and GME are trying to catch a bid.
Oh,
Beat me
really?
right
All
to
right.
it.
All right. I'll take a look at that in a second. Let's go take a look at Tesla's technicals real quick. Woo, wow, Tesla. I love Tesla, just as a company, just in general. What a trend! What a trend! I love it. Looks like you got a bottom here. That's perfect. Nice big technical bounce right here off of a bottom. And let's see. This looks like no, it's a broadening wedge. So look for a technical bounce here. But Tesla's a really solid company. Like fundamentally speaking, this is a good time to trade it. This is a good buy signal. I remember this stock split. This stock split turned me into a multi-thousandaire as a young trader. Ah, I will always remember that. That was a good day. All right, as I was saying, Tesla, OBV starting to flatten out here on the daily. There's still a little bit of downtrend, but it's pretty much moving with the price. So OBV is not going to tell us too much. RSI coming up from oversold, and the MACD is starting to cross. This is a good consolidation here, but it could break down a little bit further. I would see if it touches this support again and see how it reacts to it. Otherwise, I'd set your buy. If it was me, I would wait for 950. I have to have it be round numbers because I'm neurotic like that. Just based on these supports. Go ahead and draw a fib on this as well, because I like my fibs. I really do like my fib time zones. All right. All right, so I'm going to draw this from the nearest low to the next high. Okay, just so that you see what I'm drawing this at. So I'm looking for the bottoms on these moves here, and that's the low point, and then that's the beginning of a run, or at least the next high point before it hit consolidation. That's actually pretty close. That's pretty damn close. So this could be working out to a pattern. See these bumps in the chart where it makes these 20% moves according to price. I may need to adjust this a little bit. Let's go ahead and look at something a little bit closer on the time frame. Looking for any consistent patterns. Any consistent patterns. That's a little bit more interesting, actually. So we got a low, high, low, high, low, high. But now we're in this area where we've broken into a low here. I would see how it reacts to this broadening wedge. Um, just based on the technicals and what the fib timeline are telling me, it just looks a little bit like there's some weakness here. So maybe it breaks down, maybe it consolidates for a while. Be patient with this one. I would really want to see strength above 950 before making any kind of an entry. But Tesla does have some good things going for it. That I really don't think the company is going anywhere. They just had a pretty dope earnings as well. 18-cent surprise, so 7.5% surprise. Really good surprise on their revenue as well. And hybrid cars are just so popular, with Tesla being the most popular. I see them on the road all the time now. Like, it's the car to have. So I don't see Tesla going anywhere. If this were to break down, I'd be really surprised. But I'd really want to see the consolidation complete and then break out above that 950 zone. Maybe we might see something a little bit more in their earnings for the car buying season. Most people like to go and pick out their new cars in the spring and summer right after tax season. So this is probably going to be the best time to make an entry between now and April. So I say wait. I say just be patient and wait. And then right near the tail of tax season, expect Tesla to start showing some strength as people start buying up more and more cars. That feels like that'll be the right time. Okay. Now we got to check out. Let's see, what were the two? We got AMC. AMC was moving. Definitely have to go and check out AMC. Oh my lord. TradingView really likes to mess with my charts when I change time frames. Ooh, wow. That's what I'm talking about. Testing the upper limits of this falling wedge. We've been watching this wedge for a long time. Ever since we established this wedge right here, this falling wedge, bounced off of these lows, this is looking like a really solid entry. I really like this setup. So here we have a large narrowing channel that AMC formed ever since the June run, and that's slowly been getting tighter and tighter and tighter. We broke below it for the first and only time back in late January, and we've been below it ever since. But we also formed this falling wedge, which is a very bullish signal. This is typically referred to as a falling wedge or a bull wedge. The idea being that they usually break up and out and then create momentum. And with us having broken down to the bottom of it, and then now we're testing the upper limits, a breakout here of this wedge would also mean re-entry into this channel here. And we only very briefly broke out of it. So if there was any time that AMC was going to break down, this would have been it. Like, if we were ever going to see AMC knocked back down to like sub $10, that would have been the time. And they just couldn't do it. They couldn't push it down even past the 14 the $14 mark, which, if you remember, there was a huge battle for $14 right here, right about the time just before the June squeeze back in late May. So now a big re-entry here. this is what I'm waiting for. Let's go take a look at one more time frame on the daily because we want to look at the OBV. This is the proper OBV that I had set up. So AMC's history is long downtrend, breakdown below the on balance volume. There's either a channel or a wedge, break down below, and then break up and through, and then suddenly the stock runs. From January all the way through to May, did the same thing, formed a big consolidation wedge with the on balance volume, broke down below, and then up and out, and then squeeze immediately afterwards. And note that the breakout gave plenty of warning. There was plenty of consolidation here for people to make an entry. So there was ample signals and an ample amount of time to make a decision on when you were going to make an entry point. So if you're looking at this chart and thinking like, oh, I could run any day, don't rush, don't panic, and don't feel like you need to make your trade right now. Don't do that. Like, be patient. It's not just going to take off without you, without showing some signs. So let's look at this most recent wedge. Big zigzag wedge on the on balance volume, and we had a big breakdown below. This is the lowest point that it made. And considering that the previous squeeze, when the OBV broke down, it only broke down to the halfway point of its previous low in that wedge. So there's a difference of about 150 million shares on balance. This one's a difference of 500. Where we're currently at, just in between these two, this valley and this peak. So when AMC starts to move again, when we see the OBV climb through both of these lines, and I have alerts set on these so people get plenty of warning. I'll let everybody know because I want everybody to know. I want everybody to know what's going on with AMC. I'm not gonna like keep this a secret or anything. When these alerts hit, trust me, the whole world, all the Twitter followers and the whole Discord, everyone's gonna know. So for right now, still staying patient. The reason being is because I'm still playing options. My shares are not going anywhere, but the options gotta be well timed. The other thing that I'll also point out with my AMC chart, this is a little bit tinfoil hatty, but I don't know. It makes sense to me. So there's this time frame from the peak of the of where it was back in late November down to the high point in January, the peak of the squeeze. And then from here, the peak of this squeeze to the peak of the next squeeze from January all the way to the June 3rd was this yellow bar here. And then this is our current time frame based on what I drew out here. So what I did was I took this little time frame, this rectangle you see here, and I moved it over here, and then I doubled it and put them side by side. And what you notice is that it's exactly the same size as this time frame, which I put right here. These are almost exactly the same size. Just give or take about 2 or 3 trading days. So what I did was I doubled that and I created this time frame, which, as you will note, TradingView makes this move really, really slowly. So if we look at the peak of the squeeze back here, the time frame right here, I have a feeling that we're going to see a big move coming up here in a few days. So if my tinfoil hat theory of how this algorithm is trading, then I'm expecting that in a matter of days, just any day now, we'll start to see big moves in the price. And if this confirms it, then I'm betting that this time frame is going to end up being accurate, that the peak of the squeeze will be coming. But I don't know anything. Like this is entirely like this is the most tinfoil hat thing that I can possibly come up with. Like there's no trading, there's no guideline, there's nothing about this in any trading books anywhere that I know of. So like there's no precedent for this. We're literally trying to predict what an algorithm is going to do, whatever a computer is going to do. Um, the one thing that I think that I have an advantage as a human is pattern recognition and being able to see things happening in repeated patterns. Humans are exceptionally good at doing this. So if and computers are very consistent in the way that they approach all problems. Computers are very consistent because they're programmed with functions. It's all math. It's all mathematical functions. Humans are a lot more chaotic in our responses, but we still even fall into patterns and are predictable in many ways. I really strongly feel that computer algorithms are even more so predictable if we can just spot the patterns. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the beginning of this or the very end of this time frame to signal the beginning of the run, and then if it holds true, then I'm expecting us to cross both of these lines on the OBV. So basically, as soon as we cross 5 billion, 5.2 billion shares on balance on the daily chart for AMC, that's my buy signal. I'm gonna throw all my stupid YOLO money at AMC, and we'll see what happens in the next 30 trading days. All right. What was the other one, Mr. Boulay? We still had one more ticker that you called out.
It was just AMC and GME, both of those.
GME. Oh, God, how can I forget?
It looks like they took a little hit though, but they might have caught themselves already. Looks like they try to mimic the SPY.
Yeah, I like it. GME is doing the same thing with its price, but the OBV is just like not moving. Oh no, I see it. I see it. There is a wedge here. There is a wedge here. It's doing the same thing. It's really small because GME trades a much smaller amount of volume, but it's there. Like it's distinctly there. See that little curl down and then the second one below that? That's the same pattern that AMC's OBV did. Just a perfect little consolidation wedge on OBV. I don't know if any technical traders do this with OBV, but screw it, I'm doing it. So now we're getting ready to cross. Well, it's going to be both. So let's go ahead and set our alert. I'm going to set it right here at 1.384 billion. It's really, really tiny, but I do believe that this is significant. All right, I've been streaming for a while, so I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go ahead and take a step back. I'm gonna get myself some fresh coffee, and I'll hand things over to the analysts to let them go ahead and talk about the other plays that they've got working. These are pretty much everything that I've covered so far. Oh, I forgot one more. BBIG. BBIG is consolidating right now. A little bit of consolidation to the downside. I'm looking for it to bounce here at this rising support here. So somewhere around $3. We're basically right there. So I'm looking for the bounce to happen somewhere on the somewhere this week. Might be sooner rather than later, but I am expecting a bounce this week. I have no options in BBIG anymore for this week. I've gone ahead and liquidated everything that was worthwhile. I, uh, I do think that I have like a few worthless ones that are like still like 1 cent because I I went and bought them up here like an idiot. So those are all like those are just gone. But my target currently is for mid March, March 18th monthlies. And that's it. Looking for a bounce here at $3 sometime this week, and if we can get that, maybe cross that $3.50 mark, then or at least challenge that resistance, that will be that'll be what I'm looking for on BBIG. The volume is getting a little bit sad right now, so that's what we're looking for is for volume to come back into the stock. All right, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand things over to Cat Moores and the rest of the analyst team. Cat, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Well, just as a side note, as you're wrapping up there, I did see that we had a bunch of bullish orders coming in, some more green coming back into the options flow. I think I saw a little over 1 million on SPY calls. I think about 2 million on the SPX and about 250,000 on the Qs. So all on the ass side. All pretty
Nice.
short-term expiry between February monthlies and March monthlies. So
nice. Would you mind
hopefully-
putting that on stream so everybody can so that everybody can take a look?
There. Yeah, so this is what I was seeing there. Just had one come in for Facebook at about 10 seconds ago as well. Volume greater than open interest. I think that typically means that's a buyback, right? I'm not 100% sure. I don't pay all these orders down here. All of them seem to be pretty aggressive, all ass side orders. And we are seeing a little green in the SPY. How about that? Side of the way.
Amy's already winning a battle that intraday high. Just wants to never mind. Looks like it tipped it.
Ford seems to have recovered from this morning.
Did you say Ford?
I did say Ford.
Where's Oakham?
And that's what I was just gonna say. Let's not summon. Maybe he's busy or something.
AMC still riding that view up on the 1 hour chart.
Look at GME go. I'm just catching up with stuff. Oh, PROG is having a good day.
Beautiful day.
And then, Kat, let's just make sure we put a note. I'd love to get the DD clipped out for PROG and Sensionics for sure. Both of those were excellent. I'd like to clip those out.
Yeah, I got you.
That was some quite hefty options change for PROG TD.
Yeah, I was actually going to take a look at that next. The options chain is moving pretty heavy to the call side, is it not?
Yeah. What I'm wondering actually is how many of those are accounted by leaps, but I think our bot only looks like 2 months far. Is that right? I think so. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Holy shit. That's a lot more than I thought it is. Yeah, that's just February and March.
All right, well, let's take a look at some of that flow.
Send any huge orders. Oh, it is there. Even though the smaller ones are definitely bullish. Looks like 20,000 calls to about 2,500 puts, 183 bull, or 183,000 bull premium, 129 bear premium. So definitely leaning bullish.
Okay, so Cinemark has some news that just came out through Benzinga. Cinemark introduces all access pass for cinema's biggest fans during annual Oscar Movie Week Festival. So I'm pretty sure AMC is going to follow suit with something on their end.
Just in time when I sold my AMC calls.
It's funny watching the charts, the inversion of the charts, like when the SPY is going nuts, things like BKKT and Crypto Tank, AMC tanks.
Yeah, it is always weird to see the divergence on some things like PROG, even though SPY had taken a hit, that was just kind of quietly pushing all day.
Yeah, just going against the flow of the market, no matter what's going on. And I don't mind,
Um,
and my portfolio doesn't mind. I mean, Progenity is my $2 calls went up like I kind of wish that I had held on to them a little bit longer because I got out of them at 30, 35, 50% profit. Could have got out at 80. But oh well. Beggars can't be choosers. Man, it's nice to see Progenity making all these strong moves. All right. I'm checking out some of that unusual whales flow because I need to see what the algos are doing with the options chain. Holy smokes, the number of calls. The bullish premium is all focused on $2 strike between now and April. Those leaps are really heavy on $2 and say 150 and 250. I'm pretty sure that those are our calls, aren't they? Like a whole bunch of us, if I remember correctly, we were talking a couple weeks ago. We're like, we were just talking about leaps, and just in passing, we were like, oh, let's look at what PROG leaps are like, and it's like 90 cents, 90 cents per share for a 50-cent call for January 2024. I'm like, well, all right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just buy about 50 of those.
That's right, because I don't think they had like hardly any OI because they're so far out. And so like yeah, that probably is the
Yeah.
majority at Hell's trading floor.
How many
I
of
mean,
us do you think it's gonna take to trigger an unusual whales alert for the leaps?
I don't know, actually. I've been thinking about that and wondering myself, like, what if Hell's trading floor just by accident causes unusual whales to trigger, and then we're like, oh God, look, see, look at all these whales. They all bought. They all bought. Wow, that's funny. That's my strike, and that's also my price. Am I the whale?
Oh, MGM is moving today. Just broke the neckline on the double bottom on the daily.
Shout out Dilly Dark Bull.
Ooh, nice. Oh yeah, we got
Yep.
some call prints on those too as well.
Um,
Oh yeah,
By the way,
volume
TG,
is hugely bullish.
did
What's up?
you want your screen back up since you're back, or did you want to?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, speaking of PROG, I actually have some $3 strike calls for April. They're up 30%.
Yeah, I have about 50 of those calls. I I think I turned in half this morning. I'm still holding the other half, but I'm looking to re-enter if we see any type of weakness. But right now it's just strong.
Yeah, I got them something for like 10 cents each. They were like dirt cheap.
Do you have your screen running, True Demon?
I was just checking to make sure that I don't have any notification or alerts pop up unexpectedly, because that's a great way to go ahead and give away your identity, is somebody coming in from work chat be like, hey, so and so. God damn it. Tell my boss to leave me alone because I'm on a YouTube stream. That'll go over great.
Talking to my friend's dad. Go away.
I'll go ahead and share my I'll share the whole screen, but I'll probably regret that inevitably.
Oh, here, let me take a quick peek at what you. Oh, you're just worried about something that pop up. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, if you're fancy with the transforms, you can take away my entire taskbar and my
I was gonna say I could
my
if you'd
bookmark
like.
bar and stuff.
Yeah.
If it's not too much trouble, but otherwise I don't really care. Like if I eventually leak my name, I guess it's not the end of the world. I'll just be upset for a little while, and then I'll get maybe some free pizzas and some death threats. Oh well.
No, everybody loves
What
True Demon.
what I was gonna
Everybody
say,
does not love me. Remember, I'm
Everybody
a
loves.
devil. Remember, I'm a devil worshiper.
what I was gonna say is you can turn off all the pop-up notifications by going in Do Not Disturb from the start bar, and that will suppress all the pop-ups.
Oh, do not disturb mode. I'm still getting used to Windows 11.
Yeah, it is quite cool, but I'm still missing some of the things from Windows 10.
Went a little too hard on that.
Honestly, I'm still missing some things from Windows XP.
Well,
And I'm also missing some things from Ubuntu. I wish I could just use Ubuntu, but my work won't let that happen.
is it not secure enough?
Is
Does-
Ubuntu
the-
not secure enough?
No, I was a bit sarcastic, because how Windows has a pipe straight to Microsoft and feeds constantly data.
Oh god, don't even get me started on Microsoft vulnerabilities. I'll be talking about it all day long.
So,
Oh shit! Watch the fucking break on BKKT and AMC.
Ooh,
BKKT's breaking out. It looks like it passed
ooh,
its intraday high. I like that setup though. Look at that setup on BKKT on the 5 minute. It looks super strong.
all right, all right, all right. I need to split these charts. How can I split these charts? How do I do that?
up in that box where next to where it says unnamed, you
Yep.
can to the left of unnamed, that little square.
Oh. Finally, thank you. Thank you. I can watch multiple charts now. Holy shit. All right. It took me forever to find this. This is the first time I'm gonna look like such an idiot. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, I
TD
mean,
has no idea how to trade like a
TradingView's
professional.
yeah, TradingView's awesome, but some of those buttons are a bit like tricky. Like you forget where they are just because there's so many different options.
AMC made things like, or God, I'm talking about AMC because I'm typing it in the thing, but Weeble's trading was so nice. Like I loved that interface. It was so snappy and intuitive. I wish that TradingView had a few more of those elements and made it simpler. Like one thing, I loved the market heat map. That was awesome. I loved having that. Um,
So with TradingView,
ooh,
if you want a couple of, oh nice, there you
breakout of
go.
the falling wedge. Yes, this was it. All right. So you saw it here first. This is it. This is the alert.
Ding
This is what I
ding.
was talking about. Ding, ding,
Let's
ding. Winner,
go.
winner, chicken dinner.
With
Amy. Let's get some Amy gifs going in the chat. The Amy groundhog.
For example, as a few shortcuts with TradingView, say if you want to change the ticker, you can start straight away typing the ticker, and it will bring up the search button. And same if you say you want to change the time frame, you can just type 5 and it will move you on the 5 minutes, or you can just type in a number and it's going to go to that number of minutes.
That's really awesome.
BKKT got smacked.
Oh, did it? God damn
I
it.
mean, not too bad though, but it still looks like an awesome cup. If we can hold right here, 585, we'll be alright.
We be all right? All right. I'm going to trust you, Boule. I believe in you. Oh, yeah. I don't see anything wrong with this. This is the hourly chart, right? Yeah, this is a big ass bullpen, and I'm happy with this. Yeah, this is a bullpen. I'm totally fine with that.
On the day, yeah. I'm looking at the 5 minute chart. I'm actually trying to get back in. I got out yesterday with about 120% profit.
No kidding. All right. Oh, this is nice. Cat, you just made my day. That is so helpful. I'm so glad that I can now see multiple things on my screen. I've been dying inside, waiting for this move.
How can we stretch that to make it the whole screen on YouTube? Looks like it's cutting a piece off the top, unless there's something that you can't do about it.
Oh, that's probably because I asked Cat to take a chunk of it out just for privacy's sake. It's only the top of it. Just the tabs and stuff, so that's not a huge deal, I don't think.
Yeah, we're still
Oh,
kind of
okay.
putting together the layout because there's going to be blank spots that are going to have things in them. But today was kind of impromptu, so so I didn't really have time to set it all up. So I just kind of kept it simple. But
I see, said the blind man.
Yo, by the way, anybody who's in the YouTube chat, like, I want to know how many of you are actually in Hell's trading floor, and for those that have like not been in it, or if you haven't heard about it, I realize I actually only left like 2 options. It's like yes or no, I've never heard of it. But if you haven't heard of us, if you haven't heard of Hell's Trading Floor and you're new to this stream, or you've been in the stream for a while and you don't know about our community, Hell's Trading Floor is a trading community. Um, we have a awesome group of traders that have been collectively trading for decades in terms of their collective experience. And we trade everything from crypto to stocks to options to NFTs and whatever. Like I think that we would even trade daisies if there was a market for it. So if anybody wants to get plugged into a group of experienced traders, we have a lot of educational content. We've got analytics tools. We've got a lot of people who are just excited about memes and trading in general. So if you're just looking for a group of people to talk with and share your insights with, or just learn about the market, it's a really great place to get started. I promise we're not devil worshippers, contrary to popular belief.
Speak for yourself, homie.
PayPal has
I
some
knew
huge prints
I
on
knew
the
it.
options chain.
Ooh, PayPal.
Options chain for which ticker?
PayPal,
PayPal.
like someone is selling 175 puts worth 27 million.
All right, let's go take a look at PayPal.
It's still falling. I put
Okay.
the print in the chat.
They're doing that thing again on BBIG. Interesting. Buying puts and selling. Buying in the money puts and selling out the money puts. Yep, I see it. I see it. Nice big multi-leg strategy. 2 of them. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. So they're going for a range on BBIG. This looks like a condor. Almost looks like a condor. I'd be interested to see, JRuff, if those have matching calls on the other side of those trades. It could just be a put. It could be a put debit spread, and it does look like one, but I'm curious if there's calls on the other side of that trade.
I think you might be right, actually, because when I think it's these orders we're referring to, and it looks like so they sold the 175s for 218 and then bought the 175 call, or they sold the 175 calls for 218, bought or sold 175 puts, my apologies, so 2 sells, and then March 125 call buy, and then a 125 put sell.
Nice, nice, nice.
So these do look like definitely
Very
multis.
interesting. BBIG is still consolidating. Yeah, it's interesting. If it's a multi-leg strategy and it like becomes an iron condor, then what they're trading is they're trading a range, and they're expecting it to end in a range somewhere between $5 and $8, which that would be bullish actually. You gotta kind of get in the mindset of looking at trades as they relate to each other, because a lot of these open up at the same time at very similar price points, and it sometimes tells a story, that options chain. I'm gonna have to go back and look. Verde, where did you post that options flow at? I'm not seeing it.
It was. I'll tag you in a second. In the live stream chat, I think it is.
Live stream chat.
Or no, it's not. Film studio chat.
Film studio chat.
I'll
We
just post
are.
it again.
We got to figure out what we're going to do about these channels because it's got everybody all sorts of confused. Thank you very much. Everyone is just confused. Interesting. Okay. So this is PayPal. Ooh, wow. 175 puts for 10 days. It could be somebody looking to accumulate shares because that's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah. You have 2 orders of 27.8 million. I reckon if it's the same party. Let's see.
If they have that kind of money that they're willing to just dump it all into in the money puts sells, then that means that they want to buy all of those shares. That's a 5,000 order. 5 million shares. No, sorry, 500,000. 500,000 each. So 1 million shares total. Yeah, just making sure I did the math right. Look at that. Holy cow. That's a huge order. That's a huge order.
You don't see that every day?
No, you don't see that every day. 10 days expiration. Okay. I think we might be playing some PayPal. Good eye. Let's go look at this.
It is curling up on the 5 minutes. Like literally the last 2 candles are the only ones that are actually coming out of something.
That is so interesting. 10 days and 38 days to expiration. That's very interesting. These just printed.
Yeah, like let me check the time on them.
Because this is your local
8
time.
minutes ago. 8 minutes ago.
Wow. Okay. All right. Somebody is accumulating. This is accumulation. Because
I mean, PayPal is literally running as we speak. Look on the 5 minutes.
Good eye. Hey, Kat, let's clip this out as well. Expiration for the 18th. Done. I ain't stupid. I see an opportunity.
Oh my god, they're really not that expensive.
They're not. They're not at all. I could actually get a call spread for let's see. I could get a call spread for 150.
I just picked up a 128 for the 18th. It was $100.
Yeah.
How much money do I have to trade with this? I have $190.
I need to liquidate something actually. Makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and liquidate something also.
I have
Looks like
31 bucks that I can actually spend on something nice.
I really like BKKT. I want to hang on to those.
Right, let's see if plug looks like it's dying.
Where are we at with the Beyond play, Boule? You've been tracking that the closest.
Yeah, I got out of a couple of them already. I got one. I think I have one left. It's 66 for the 18th. But we're day trading that. Me and who was I want to say it was Logical Chaos. Um, but we did good on that. But I'm just waiting on this one right here to give me my refund. It's only down 16% though.
Beyond, all right.
I think I'm gonna sell some of my SENS and wait for a re-entry.
I think that's actually a good idea. Sensionics is, I've got so many leaps on that one anyway. I'm personally not too worried about it. This is a good time to get a re-entry on Sensionics.
So far, it's a dragonfly candle on today, so I'm wondering if we're expecting a bit of a pullback to like the 20-day moving average or something first.
Yeah.
Speaking
But at the
about
same time, sorry, just to
sniper,
finish quickly,
go ahead.
I feel that catalyst is imminent, and I really don't want to fucking miss out on it.
Talking about Sensionics or which catalyst?
Yeah, Sensionics, the FDA approval.
It is imminent for sure.
It looks like you have Derek Blakely. He was actually asking about SENS. He wanted to know the rest of the week, and he wants to know if you think momentum is going to be picking up.
It certainly is acting like it. I mean,
Oh my god, PayPal made a big move.
oh really? All right.
MACD crossed on the 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna go ahead and enter with what I have. Yep, that's a hell of a move. Okay, let me get these are March 18th. I'll do the 150s. Those are 57 cents. Ah, fuck it. We'll go one strikeout.
And if you want me to clip it, did you want to do some TA and stuff on it maybe real quick?
Yeah, for sure. Hmm. See, PayPal. This bounce, man. God, I'm really having a hard time making a decision on strike.
And it also looks like Savvy Trading posted some PayPal news as well about them forming a crypto advisory council.
Crypto Advisory Council. All right. That is interesting. All right, so I settled on a debit spread for PayPal, so that everybody knows exactly what I did. I went ahead and I bought a $130 call for March 18th and sold a $140 call for March 18th. This is a debit spread. The idea is that I expect PayPal to exceed $130, and maybe go somewhere between 130 and 140. My max profit will be achieved if PayPal goes above $140 by expiration. That's essentially like caps my profits. So if PayPal does end up shooting up all of a sudden, for some reason I ended up on AMC's chart again. Don't know why that happened. But since PayPal is definitely on the oversold side, I want to stay a little bit closer to the strikes. If we do see an automatic bounce here and suddenly there's some life that comes back into it, then a run to $140 is definitely within the realm of possibility, since that's right there at the top of the gap. So that's why I set that strike. That's why I chose that one, and I see resistance here at 130. So any approach to this, good profit. The one thing that is a bit of a downside with debit spreads is that if you're early on the trade, or rather if you are if you set your expiration really far out and it runs early on, then you miss out on some profits, because the the closer to expiration you get while being in the money, the more the value grows. So there's a little bit of downside if you're right on the trade, you could have made more profit just by going long with a call. But the upside is that I'm setting a max profit, and I'm lowering my maximum loss because I only had to pay $179 or $180 for the spread. But if I were to buy just the long call for $130, would have cost me more than twice as much. Would have cost me like $300 for that call. So that would significantly increase my maximum losses for each call that I purchased. And by setting myself with a maximum gain or a maximum profit, I'm kind of forcing myself into a position to be disciplined and being like, okay, we'll never make more money than this if the price goes to X dollars, in this case, $140. So no matter what happens, as long as the price goes to or above $140, then I won't make any more money than that. And I'm better off just getting out of the trade and putting it into something else. Just one caveat with those is that debit spreads, especially call spreads, do require you to have level 3 options trading because you need access to create naked calls. Although your call is covered by the call that you bought, so as long as it's a perfect 1-to-1 ratio, the call that you sold is covered by the call that you bought. So if they both expire in the money, then what happens is you get assigned the call you sold, you exercise the call that you bought, they cancel each other out, and then you keep the difference, which is big profit. If you're curious about our video on call spreads, we actually covered that in depth in an earlier video that we did about a month ago during our play on IBM, which that one printed dividends. Huge shout out to Cab Moores for calling out IBM. Thanks, Savvy Trading, for the news. PayPal to name 6 newly formed crypto advisory council. The members comprise some of the leading experts in cryptography, distributed technology, regulation, economics, and capital markets. That was published February 8th at 1:53 p.m. So either somebody knew that article was going to be printed at exactly that time and they were just waiting for that headline, or an algorithm picked that one up, or they already knew. So there you go.
Is there anything else you wanted to go over PayPal related or anything like that for this part?
I guess I can go into a little bit of TA, but so far there's actually not a whole lot to cover. There's a big gap, a really big gap. If we started to challenge this gap, if we were threatening to fill this gap, then I would be playing $160 calls. But I wouldn't want to see that until we confirm some strength and moved above 130. So if my call spread goes in the money, then I'll probably cancel those out, close that trade, and then set a further expiration, and then play to 160 to see if we fill this gap. That would be amazing. Big gap. Big gap. Let's we're just gonna have this. We're just gonna have this in the background.
Fun fact: if this reaches 200 by March, then you'll have 2.5% of the float in the money.
2.5% of the float in the money. Wow.
And for a 1 billion float, 1 billion shares float, it's quite a bit.
That is quite a lot, actually. PayPal's a huge float. I forget what the market cap on PayPal is.
140 billion.
140 billion. Definitely no small cap. So we got this narrowing wedge, or narrowing channel. It is a bull channel. So I'm going to go ahead and set myself up an alert. And crossing up. Oops. Looks good. And I'll also set an alert here at 135. What just happened? I don't know why is PayPal not showing up on my watch list? I'm trying to add this to my watch list. Thank you very much. Okay.
God, that's a big gap.
Yeah, tell me about it. God.
Did they even miss earnings by that much? 'Cause I
They
don't
really
think they
didn't.
did.
Like, it wasn't justified. The move here was not justified at all.
Like revenue, if anything, they were 20 million more, like 0.3%.
I really think that it was just a matter of, like, they saw an opportunity to scalp a bunch of money from traders that were playing earnings. They just saw a whole bunch of options on the chain and just tanked it. Like, I really
Yeah.
feel that's what was going on. I don't know if Flabbergank's in here, but if he is, I would really love a report on the historical options for this expiration week, February 4th. So if you could let me
Well,
know what the options expiration for February 4th historically was, and let me know what the OI was at the peaks, that would be extremely helpful to me. I'm curious to know how much money was on the line for this particular options expiration week.
I'll
And if
shoot
you
him
could,
a message. Yeah, I'll shoot him a message.
thanks, Verde. And if you could post that in the film studio chat, so I know where to look
Yeah.
for it. All right, let's go take a look at PROG. Still consolidating at 175. I love it. I love it. BBIG is making that consolidation to $3 like I expected. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this since it broke through that line. A little bit of lowering support. I'm expecting $3 by the end of the week, and then then we see a bounce. As long as we don't break below $3, or at least not far below it. If we break down to like 290 or something like that, that's fine. That's just an entry point. But if we were to break down to like, if we were to reset down to like 250, then that would be bad. Just don't want to see a total break of trend. BKKT still holding.
Oh wow! Sorry, PayPal is still printing.
Really?
1.5. No, sorry. 2 orders selling 180 puts for 18th, so 10 days expiry, 2.3 million each. So, what, 4.5 million? Literally just came through like 5 minutes ago.
Is that a? Let me go see if I can pull that up on Unusual Whales. Unusual Whales, speak to me.
Basically, what I did, I'm just looking at the live flow, and I look at the premiums above a million with 60 DD.
All right. Short straddles. That's what this is. Short straddles. And short puts. Interesting. They're doing a
Just so it's a bit shady, not very obvious for the average trader, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. These are some floor trades. All direct to the exchanges, so these are highly visible. They want attention on these. Look at that noise. Holy shit. I'm willing to bet that these calls are just a hedge.
The last day we had such large volume on PayPal at the 180 puts was actually back in January.
Oh, I get it. I see what they're doing. They're selling the puts. They're selling the puts deep in the money for 10-day expiration, but if there's a huge move in volatility, the puts will go to worthless and the calls that they sold will skyrocket in value. They'll guarantee the exercise. So they've got an accumulation set so that they're guaranteed to get shares at $130 to cover these calls. But their real target is these $180 strike puts. So if these go out the money, or if they get near the money, they'll be able to close these out for a huge profit, and then the calls and the puts at 130 cancel each other out. They're just a hedge.
Yep.
It's like there's something going on live at the White House. President Biden delivers remarks on rebuilding our manufacturing to make
Amed.
more in America.
I'm going to go ahead and take a break. I'm going to hand the stream back over to you guys.
So let's see how that works out.
Just don't say it.
I was gonna say, should I put it up or
I
no?
had already put it up there.
He's about to speak right now.
American parts, American iron, American steel, and they'll be installed up and down the highways and corridors in our communities all across the country by union workers from the IBW and the Electrical Workers Union. So the benefits are going to ripple to thousands of miles in every direction. And these jobs will multiply in steel mills, small parts suppliers, construction sites all over the country in the years to come. And it's going to help ensure that America leads the world in electric vehicles. China has been leading that race up to now, but this is about to change because America is building convenient, reliable, equitable, national public charging networks. So wherever you live, charging an electric vehicle will be quick and easy. And the foundation will help American automakers set the pace for electric vehicles, which means even more good-paying jobs producing batteries, materials, and parts. That's also going to help save hundreds of billions of gallons of gasoline over time, saving an average driver who chooses an electric vehicle up to $1,000 every year on fuel, making our country more economically competitive, lowering air pollution, and keeping families healthier as we tackle the climate crisis. Here's the key point. Announcements like this don't happen by accident. They require a vision and a commitment to build a future that's made in America. I made it clear from day one, when the federal government spends taxpayers' dollars, we're going to buy American. American products made in America, including American component parts. That's why I established the Made in America office at the White House, led by Celeste Drake. She's here on the stage. Where is Celeste? There she is. Celeste Drake. To ensure that the $1 trillion we're investing in infrastructure is spent on American workers and American manufacturing. On the way over here, by the way, I was talking with Gina. We were talking about, we have how many vehicles in a fleet, Gina, roughly?
600,000.
We have 600,000 federal vehicles that the federal government owns.
Yeah, he's talking about electric vehicles.
Electric vehicles. That's what it means to finally make Buy in America a reality and not an empty promise. It means bringing manufacturing jobs back and building supply chains here at home so we have better jobs at lower prices. And it means a federal government that just doesn't give lip service to Buy America, but actually takes action, investing in innovation and manufacturing, which powers up companies like Tritium to do what they do best, create great products and good paying jobs. That's been my approach from day one. And now we're seeing the results, beginning to see the results. My first full year as president, the economy created 6.6 million new jobs. 6.6 million. That's never happened before in American history. And that includes 375,000
So he's talking about
jobs.
the amount of jobs that will be
2021
created
saw
by
the
this
highest increase in
manufacturing
U.S.
push that they're having
manufacturing
for the
jobs in
electric
over
cars.
30 years. And let me give you one example. A few weeks ago, the CEO of Intel, Pat Gelsinger, came to the White House to announce a new $20 billion semiconductor factory that they're going to.
It's funny how him and the lady were talking about electric this, electric that.
The two senators from Ohio here.
Not one mentioned a Tesla.
One Republican, one Democrat. Creating 7,000 construction jobs.
Let's hope he says China and Neo Moons.
3,000 permanent jobs running the facility, with an average salary running the facility at $135,000.
Boulay saying SPY taking a hit.
Those semiconductors, microchips, power virtually everything in our everyday lives. Cell phones, automobiles, refrigerators, the internet, the electric grid. Without semiconductors, those things cannot fully function. So the spinoff of this is that we're going to create thousands of additional jobs, helping build America's products here in America. Manufacturing automobiles and appliances, and so much more. And it's going to help ease inflation. One of the reasons automobiles cost so much is they're responsible for 1/5 of the recent inflation is because they lack semiconductors. They're not able to build them quick enough, so the price goes up higher because there's fewer to sell. Intel's announcement helps us fix that problem. And Intel isn't alone. Since 2021, companies have announced investments totaling more than $200 billion in domestic manufacturing here in America. From iconic companies like GM and Ford building out new electric vehicle production to Tesla, our nation's largest electric vehicle manufacturer, to younger companies like Rivian building electric trucks, or Proterra, building electric buses, which I saw at a virtual tour last year when I met with the CEO virtually, and they're really
Rivian
interested.
just tanked.
These companies joining Intel,
Well,
bringing
tanked, just
microchip manufacturing back to
had
America
a
after
massive
decades
candle
of
downwards.
decay. From Texas Instruments to Samsung in Texas to TSMC in Arizona, we're seeing the beginnings of an American manufacturing comeback. This is not hyperbole. This is real. This is genuine. This is real. You've heard me say all along when I was running and since I've gotten there, the world's at an inflection point. Things are going to change in big ways. And this is one of those transition moments. 2 weeks ago, I went to Pittsburgh, where the Union Pacific Railroad announced the largest purchase of American-made electric battery locomotives in history, built by American workers in Erie, Pennsylvania. And these locomotives aren't only going to be sold here in America and take a heck of a lot of pollution out of the air. They're going to be sold in countries around the world. They're going to be buying them, just like they're going to buy American-made
Well, he mentioned
electric
Rivian.
cars. And just like we heard last week when
Texas
Boeing announced
Instruments is also
$20 billion bill, $20 billion deal
IBM
right
having a
here in the
little
White
bounce
House
there.
to sell American-made aircraft to one of the major airlines in the Middle East, Qatar Airways, supporting tens of thousands of good-paying American manufacturing jobs. So we're seeing the same thing in planes, trains, and automobiles. Other countries recognize what's happening here. They want to buy American as well. They're ready to bet on America and American workers, workers who built the middle class, earning good pay and benefits and the right to organize. Today's announcement is part of the drumbeat of jobs resurgence, like more than anything we've seen before. And by the way,
That's
House
a good
Representatives
point, Bill.
passed a bill on Friday
He's
providing
saying,
over
how can he say the
$90
government only
billion
buys
for
American
research and
products, the
development,
mass the Congress uses,
manufacturing all
and the
those
government
elements of the
purchase were
supply
made in
chain
China?
needed to produce end products right here in America. We can keep delivering more announcements
Mind you, I
like
think
this
Ford
one.
still has their
The House
manufacturing
and
plants
Senate
in
are
Mexico
working
as
to
well,
deliver a
right?
final bill to my desk. The bottom line is the United States is in a position to
I assume
outcompete the
so.
world once again.
I pretty much assume
I look
everyone's a
forward to
hypocrite
working
all
with
the time.
governors, Republican and Democrat, to keep that drumbeat going.
True that.
So let's keep coming together to invest in the backbone of America, and American manufacture, and the workers who make it run. Because when we do, there's no limit to what we can achieve. None. Thank you, and may
He's
God
done
protect our
speaking.
troops.
I
We
don't
have a
see
lot
the
to look
outlets
forward
picking
to.
up on
Thank
what
you
he
very
just
much.
said. That was it. I
I believe
finished.
so. All right. Let's see what the market does now that he's done.
We should get a little bounce right here.
I
Yeah,
hope for
let's
a little
bounce.
bounce.
Let's get it. SPY didn't even fall all the way down to VWAP.
Come on, SPY. Let's get that slingshot.
That's funny, Rob. So again, we might see a pushback here. All day long, SPY has had problems with 451. Me personally, this is space good for the people in the chat. I'm bearish towards this whole time, so I'm looking for 451 so I can get myself into some puts.
He's our resident bear here in Hell's Trading Floor. You seem to be getting a little bit of green. So far, so good. Indeed, J-Ruff. He is our beloved.
So out of the 85 votes, we had 44% that said that they had never heard of our Discord.
Yeah, I did find that interesting. I wonder if people were just like, let me see. Never heard of it. It's interesting to see how many people. By the way, everyone, for those of you who have not heard of it, the link should be in the description down below, and that's currently where you hear all the talking coming from right now.
That's funny. Smell my finger says, I had no clue what Discord was, and I was always curious as to who Mad Course was talking to. Okay, Spy, I see you. Come on, get over 450. What was the low of the day yesterday? You guys remember? What's on the chart?
Ooh, we got Tesla and Rivian getting some movement. Guess it was just taking a moment to settle in. Although he dropped so many names in a row, everyone was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, slow down! I gotta get my pen."
The algos were sleepy. In a way, you can say it's turnaround Tuesday. Yesterday, the low of the day was 445 for the SPY.
Yeah, we're not looking too bad, all things considered, you know.
Yes, he did say Ford.
Come on, Spy, don't ruin the party here.
All credit to the dub. He got on the 449 SPY puts right around 11:15. Shout out to C Dub, Twitter handle the Cattle Baron. Which BBIG strike?
Vinny said he has some BBIG. I think he said BBIG in Prague. GameStop needs to hold 110 here.
Yes, if the SPY
Yeah,
starts rolling over, we are gonna see those.
yeah, Savvy. We saw some large prints on the PayPal for close to expiration. So we're gonna hope for a bounce back. But I think both TD and Boule are playing it fairly close to the money. So I wouldn't go too far out. I'm gonna put again the screenshots if you wanna have a look at. Amed. I am not familiar with that one. It looks like they've had an offering. So they're diluting probably. Yeah, so you have a float of 6 million and then you dilute with another 12 million. That's not great. And the offering was actually at 50 cents. Oh wow, this is a very beaten one, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know anything about Amed or what they do, so I can't say. If anyone else had played it before or they know, please come in and say something.
Not, but I was just taking a look because I saw that he had posted it. Usually with those sub a dollar stocks that are just kind of selling off, and waiting for good news. It's kind of just that you're just kind of waiting for the good news. So if you have some sort of fundamental driver you think is coming that you're pretty confident about, then that would be a different story. However, from like the technical side, I tend not to trade those. They're just a little too much of a gamble.
Oh yes, anything under $1, well, under $1.50, I tend to stay away from.
Yeah, because it's either on an OTC or it's already at risk of being delisted, and at that point, traditionally you can kind of tell the buying pressure is never really quite stepping in, and it's like, what would make that change? And then, of course, what would make that change? Of course, there was some crazy announcement, something like that, but that would be then just hoping that comes.
Yeah, it looks like they've shorted it a fuckload, but it's not even a short squeeze candidate either. Utilization is 60 something. SI of free float 7.3%. Cost to borrow an average of 30. Oh, I don't know. They might be sound company from a fundamental perspective, but I don't see much in it on a technical level. Like, yeah. Probably just waiting for some catalyst, and you're probably at research stage or something like this, I would imagine.
What's the spy gonna do right here? Pop or flop? PROG's catching a bid though.
Sam open for a pop here. Looks like Rivian and Tesla after that, I guess, got a little bit of green, but nothing too substantial.
Oh, I'm liking what I see on PROG actually.
Oh, wow.
Seems to be doing something, maybe a breakout. That's kind of a textbook bull flag, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's definitely trying to buck the trend of the overall market here. You got it's gonna hold. Hold it.
Hmm.
Mm.
There's literally like no volume coming in at all. Everything just still.
Is MNDT halted now?
What ticker was it?
MNDT. Apparently
Whoa.
Microsoft is gonna buy them.
Yeah.
Savi just posted the unusual wealth alert.
Wow, yeah, 1643 up from 1527. Oof. Not even a minute. Just
Yeah, it looks like it's halted.
yeah. All right. What's the news? You said Microsoft.
What do they do?
What are the odds of Peloton filling that gap in the next year?
A good question.
Mandiant is on a mission to make every organization secure for cyber threats and confident in their readiness. They deliver dynamic cyber defense solutions powered by industry-leading expertise.
Okay, it's unhalted now. It unhalted and opened at 1772. Or I'm sorry, 18. And still pushing.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay, go. Whew.
Buy some puts.
Right.
Burn a day trade. Yeah, I would say that. It's a pretty accurate chart.
Ooh, okay, now we got SPY turning, we got Rivian breaking out. It's Tesla. Tesla is looking strong. Ford making a double bottom. Well, how about that? We got some bullish flow coming into Wales. Let's see what we got.
This is actually a good time to make a credit spread. By the way, hey, I'm back, everybody.
Hey, who's that?
Hello, TD.
Hey, had to grab some food and some coffee. I was looking at the call on Mandium. I see that it's basically run without us.
Yeah,
I really like it. That's a hell of a move.
Yeah, it really is.
Um,
I'm surprised it's well. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised it's holding because I mean, a Microsoft buy is a pretty substantial. Like that's not just a pump. You know, that's a pretty big deal. But
Did they disclose acquisition price or anything like that?
so the only article I could even find was behind a paywall, and I'm trying to find more info.
Can you link it? Maybe I can probably get around by
Yeah.
disabling JavaScript.
There you go. Yeah,
Thank you.
literally posted 11 minutes ago, I think. 2:42 p.m.
Oh, you actually need to log in. Oh, shit.
Cat, the YouTube is going, but the stream on Discord is not.
Oh, my apologies, you guys. After TD stepped out, I completely forgot to start sharing mine. My bad.
yeah, I'll go ahead and jump in and go ahead and start sharing my screen again anyway.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Okay. Mandian is, wow, what a move. So, wow, the bid-ask spread is so skewed on these. That's hilarious. The volatility on Mandian is just so insane right now. Is it? Oh, it just unhalted again. That's wild. That's funny how there's just an announcement and then instantly, how many shares is this? 4 million. 4 million shares get bought in a single minute.
Ooh, PROG might be
That's
breaking out of its trend with some strength here.
cool. Yay.
176 and pushing.
AMC showing some strength too. How about that? These hourly candles are looking sexy. AMC is, it's kind of flat actually. I gotta get a little bit closer on this.
Ooh.
Actually, for a test, I tried to, as soon as MNDT unhalted, I went and bought the cheapest put closest to the money, cost me $32. And now because of the volatility, I am up 50%.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
Love when that happens, like right
I
before
just
the
want-
bid-ask changes.
So you
Yeah.
bought, let's see, bought a super cheap put.
I bought 15 put for $32 and is now 44.
That's
I'll
hilarious.
I'll show you how the chart looks on the thing.
The $10 puts went up by 400% because they went from 1 cent sale all the way to 5 cents on the mid.
Ooh, and PHUN did have a breakout. I know some people in chat were asking about that earlier. It's 315 and trying to push, it looks like.
Right on, right on. Well, Mandiant is one that I would personally stay away from because the move happened, right? This was surprise news. Otherwise, this move wouldn't have happened like the minute that the announcement was made. It would have been priced in if somebody knew. So this move,
Yeah, absolutely.
this move is already here. I would stay away from it. But if you're able to trade on volatility, you can trade a short iron condor or something like that. That's another way that you can make money off of these moves. You can predict a major move in one direction or the other. Or if you think that it's going to just hang out at $17 and just move flat, other people probably have more due diligence done on this stock than I would, so I don't know. But another way to trade this would be with a short straddle, selling a call and selling a put at the same time. You don't get very much profit, and your max risk is pretty significant. But that's what the short iron condor is for. You sell a call and a put near the money. You buy calls and puts deep out the money, and that sets your maximum loss risk for you. Just to cap whatever you can lose. And what you're aiming for is between those two puts and calls that you sold. That's the range. That price between is the range where you make your most profit. And as long as the price expires, or as long as the when all those options expire, as long as the price is trading in that range between the two puts and calls that you sold, you keep all your premium. So it's a good way to trade big volatility like this because when the volatility drops out on those, you can actually close out all of the short legs of your, you can close out the short legs and just go long in one direction or the other, or just close everything out entirely for a profit. But I
SENS
don't
was
know what
showing
Mandiant's going to do now. Sorry, Verde, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, sorry, I thought you were done. I was just saying SENS is showing some strength now,
Excellent.
coming back to
Excellent.
almost yesterday's levels. Now I'm glad I
BBIG.
didn't sell my calls.
Looks like BBIG is bouncing off of that trend that I marked out. I'm gonna lower this and I'm gonna set an alert because I'm just thinking that 290. I'm thinking that 290 is what I want to set as the warning. BBIG is testing these lows now, so what we're hoping for is for us to establish a new higher low here and then bounce from here. So I'm going to guess that that low is going to be right around 290. I think I even said earlier on in the stream, like, yeah, 290 for BBIG is what I'm thinking. Somebody let me know if I'm full of shit. Oh, I guess not. Cool. That confirmation bias kicking in. Okay. So I'm just setting that alert because I want to watch SENS. I love it. Complete that engulfing candle. SENS was moving along this for a little while. Now we've got a new trend established. Look at that. Look
I
at
wonder
that
if
strength.
someone was saying on PHUN that was running, if you look back to yesterday's level at market open, you had a big resistance there at 315. So I wonder if it's gonna make like a head and shoulders type thing, because it ran all the way up to 340 last night. Then it retraced, and now it's coming back up to retest that. So if you fall under, I would say $3, keep an eye out for a flush.
I really think it's gonna depend on just DWAC, honestly, because that's I think what's gonna continue to carry it.
I really think that this is a bullish pattern because, like, look down here. You had an inverse head and shoulders at the bottom. This is on the hourly chart, by the way. So here's your shoulders and here's your neckline. And as soon as it crossed up above, that's when it started to form the rest of this hue. So now we have a cup and a handle forming, and like 320, it's gone. Like that's where I'm setting my that's where I'm going to set my alert at is 320. Set trade alert, cross above. And then we'll go ahead and see if PHUN crosses above the cup and handle here.
Yeah, I see that. I was more looking on the list, literally just pre-market yesterday and today. But now zooming out, you're right. It is a bullish pattern.
Got that one. Let me just go ahead and fix the price on this one. There we go. Excellent. Fun. We're going to have some fun with that one. Fun.
I really need like a sound effects board for the little doots for when you say stuff like
that. I'll have to get one of them.
Yes.
I can't even afford a microphone right now. I got to get one of these to Moon so I can afford a $10,000 microphone.
Just as long as it does voice changing and sound effects, that's the key.
I'll give myself a really demonic voice so that I can really scare everybody that's convinced I'm a devil worshiper. I'm just looking to upset people now. Looking for every opportunity to make someone mad.
Come on, SENS. Come on.
SENS
Nice
really
cup and handle on the 1 minute.
Ooh, SPY getting a little, okay. SPY, Tesla, Ford, everything flashing a little green. Whole market, okay. Maybe we can close strong today. Maybe. I want to jinx it. Knock on all this wood. They keep moving the buy wall up on PROG, and it just all the supply keeps getting chewed through. I'm really curious to see. I think if it pops over the 177, 180 level, it's gonna do it with some fire,
some gusto.
Some gusto.
It would be pretty wild for my my $3 prog calls because these things have been burning for a while.
Yeah, I think the only calls that I have left that aren't the leaps are, I think, twos that are down like 90%.
I managed to scoop up some of those twos. I actually averaged down, so I cashed out of half of those at an 80% profit, and now I've got two more. They're still up 33%. So I'm thinking about re-entering in those, but I don't know. That's really risky because it's next Friday expiration. If I'm an intelligent investor, I'll be going for March or April. But I don't know if I feel like being intelligent today. I have money burning a hole in my pocket that I don't know, maybe I want to just dump it into the market and see what happens. By the way, that's not an endorsement, everybody listening. Like, let's not actually do something stupid. If we're seriously considering Progenity for a big move, like there's not much volatility in this stock right now. Trust me, when this thing actually gets moving above $2, then volatility will come into the stock. So anything that you get for with like 30 days expiration or more, so think mid-March, March 18th, anything that you have from March to April expiration above $2, the volatility is going to go up. If you want to time things perfectly, like it's dangerous to try, but you could try to do something like $2 for February 18th. But just know that, like, in all likelihood, that money will burn. Despite what my technicals might say, that's still an extremely risky trade. So don't trade big dollar signs for something like that, where it's like, yeah, if it went past $2, I'd be a gajillionaire if I just threw 10 grand down on that strike. But it could get pinned, you know? So always, always, always be conscious of that and don't take unnecessary risks.
I think your phone alert might be going off here momentarily.
I heard a doot doot.
Oh, did it? Did it hit the 320?
I heard a doot doot.
Did you hear a doot doot?
I think I did.
Hear a doot?
No
Everywhere doot doot?
notifications yet.
Well, he tapped 319 and just couldn't quite get it, but
319. Oh, it's so close. It wants to. I believe in it.
well, and
I haven't
DWAC
actually
showing
opened up a position in it.
DWAC showing strength as well, so I assume if that gets a pop, it'll probably push it over the edge.
I haven't actually opened up a trade in PHUN, so I'm I'm thinking about it now. But I don't have any money left. I don't have any money.
MNDT is actually holding and now looking like kind of strong. That's surprising. It didn't at least have like that little post-halt panic moment, and you know what I mean, the little sell-off. It's just nope, just as if nothing happened.
I think I'm gonna get rid of my PROG $2 calls for next Friday. I still have some $3 for next Friday that they just got scooped up and buried. So I'm gonna go ahead and liquidate those $2 PROG calls, and I'm gonna have that money set aside for PHUN. Lol. But
see, this is why we need it.
It is why we need it.
We're using all these case studies and anecdotes. Someone did make CB said maybe some background music during silent times. Yeah, that might be a good idea for like these longer streams when there's not quite as much going on. Find some
You know what?
royalty-free stuff.
That would be fantastic. Maybe we got to get Mr. Boulet's MeBot going and just have that in the background.
I was
thinking that too, but I didn't want you two to ding us.
So what we would probably have to do is find something obviously suiting for the channel, put it low, but just find something that's royalty free or is just.
Well, isn't going to the moon royalty free?
Yeah, but do we want that on repeat 24 hours a day? Yes. No. Maybe.
Yeah, why not? What's wrong with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, we could figure something out, I'm sure. Both, Landa said. Fun is fun, and fun is fun. You can have fun with fun, or you can have fun in a fun way.
Let's see. Funds moves.
Ooh, spy.
I heard another doot doot. I heard another doot. Whose
Yep,
was
I
that?
think you. Yep, the 320 or I'm sorry, 319 SPY is pressing for 449, breaking over that, trying to go for 450 maybe. Hopefully, nice little candle there.
See,
Let's.
PHUN's move was holy god.
That was a fun day. No pun intended. God,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep dropping those puns on complete accident.
It's too easy.
It,
It's too easy. They make it too easy. All right. There we go. getting them Moon Gang jams. That is royalty free, right? We're sure. I don't want a copyright strike.
I was gonna say I don't have anything.
Are you talking
playing
about
right
Gorillionaires?
Whichever, whatever this is that's playing in the background now.
Ooh, SPY is really pushing here. Okay, let's go.
Let's see. PHUN on a 4-hour time frame traded 57 million shares in volume, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, went to a screaming price of
PROG at
$2.40.
$1.80. PROG at $1.80 and pushing. That was an explosive move over $1.77. They ate right through that buy wall. Let's go.
There goes PHUN. There goes PHUN.
There goes.
It's moving.
Oh, DWAC. Oh yeah,
That's
SPY.
it.
Oh, SPY's trying to already recapture 450. Let's close the day strong. Let's go. Come on, let's get it. Beyond Meat trying to have a breakout. Tech sector, healthcare, large cap, all looking good.
What is this trading at? $10 on the ask. Are you all fucking insane?
What are you looking at?
I was looking at fun $5 strike calls.
Ooh, SPY back over 450. Let's go. Come on, let's close this day with some ferocity.
Ask at $10. Here we go. Let's see if I get my fun fill. Yep, I got a fill of fun.
Are you filled with fun?
I'm filled with fun.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
Jesus.
I got $32 prog calls for April 14th expirations, so I will be super happy with those no matter what happens. I'm not worried about my the next Fridays that I sold. I could have been totally wrong, everybody. Just letting you know. Like, if I sold those $2 prog calls that are expiring next Friday and suddenly we're mooning past 5, then oh well, I guess I missed out. You all do what's right for you, but trust the technicals and trust your convictions. Progenity is absolutely a diamond stock. This thing is going to go places. As soon as they get their numbers on their Precludia product, as soon as those pre-trial numbers come through to the public, and as soon as those patents on all of their OBDS and DDS delivery systems start hitting the market, guaranteed, this stock is going to start changing the face of the field of medicine. All internal medicine will be using Progenity's pills at that point.
You guys probably shouldn't play the music.
I don't have it playing on YouTube.
Okay.
Although we would like to.
I was
would
gonna
very
say I
much
didn't
like
even
to have the background music.
because I usually have Mebot turned down or whatever. But yeah, we would probably just we've made it this far. We've only got 45 minutes left, but yeah, we'll definitely figure out something for the music. And that seems like an incredibly fitting job for Mr. Boulay, so that's perfect.
Official Discord DJ and YouTube DJ.
Best of the
Man,
best.
that $1.80 strike, or that $1.80 resistance. This is everything, man. Do it, Progenity. Do it. Crush this shit.
Ooh,
Don't sleep on
BKKT, breaking out. Yeah, there you go. You and me always come in at the same moment. Every time. Like opening my mouth and you're like, BKKT.
Yep, BKKT doing it too.
Let's
All
go.
right.
Man, SPY is really, look at that 1 minute candles on SPY. Just do 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 do.
The whole market's just moving.
Let's go. FUN at
Do we
324.
have a Fed meeting coming up tomorrow or anything like that?
I just got buy signals on BKKT and the SPY's 5-minute chart using the super trend.
We need to be comparing it to the Bitcoin price. Honestly, that's what's going to make moves. Look at that BKKT move with the jump in Bitcoin's price overnight. This is respecting a gap up here. This orange line that you see here on the chart. This is actually Bitcoin's price, but it does. This is on a daily with respect to the day trading session. So if we turn on extended trading hours, yeah, there we go. See, BKKT is moving in response to what Bitcoin is doing, and Bitcoin is happy. Bitcoin is very happy, and so are all investors. People who are in Bitcoin are super thrilled. So what we're looking for with BKKT is this kind of mutes the chart a little bit. Go back to the regular trading hours. What just happened? Okay. We fix.
I'm sending you a DM with the economic calendar for this week.
Okay. Thanks very much, guys.
I'm gonna shoot you the link.
Thank you for all the warnings, by the way, Dilly. we do appreciate that. I'm sorry that I wasn't paying the best attention to my DMs.
Yeah, it comes through my end, and I had the Meebot turned down, so it didn't come through for the channel. Discord can hear it, which is whatever, but I just kept it turned down for that purpose.
That's right. So if you want to have nice DJ music in the background, then
just for
yeah,
like
I'm
the rest
sorry.
of
You'll
today,
have to,
I guess. I mean, it
you'll
doesn't
just
matter,
have
but
to join us. You'll just have to join us in Hell's Trading Floor to get a taste of Mr. Boulet's mad DJ skills. I heard another dude. What's that?
oh boy, what do we do, Dootin?
I don't know. Is it mine?
I don't think I had a
Stop.
doot.
Stopped. Triggered. This is it. Yep. So FUN. Oh, that's right. FUN cracked through 320. I don't know why it took so long for that to trigger.
See, it's weird. TradingView's alerts are either like immaculate or terrible. It's kind of one or the other. Like they work really well, but then sometimes they just are like, you know what? Never mind.
Well, FUN's moves are really getting me excited. This kind of volume that we see here, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see what this thing does. I don't know that we'll get the same kind of move like we'll be seeing $24 again. I don't know about that, but I do know that if we get some volatility, that these calls will be printed.
When I'm
Man, SENS is
seeing
making me happy too.
We're getting some unusual whales prints for DWAC, which obviously is going to relate to FUN. Buy to open, 55 call, February 18th, 300,000 floor trade on the ass side. $40 call, just shy of $1 million. Buy to open the 40s for March 18th.
Ooh, huzzah.
And Tesla, for anyone who's interested, is actually looking quite strong and had like a quadruple bottom consolidation little phase there, and now it's trying to test the intraday high. Along with the SPY. Come on, SPY. Give me that Beyond Schmeat. Ooh, PROG trying to push $1.80 again with some strength. Let's go.
The SPY too. The SPY looks like it's about to retake that 450, 451.
Yeah, it's looking real interesting. That was a strong trend break.
All right, Sensionics challenging 365 resistance. This is it. This is it. Next stop, $4. Let's frickin' do it, man. I'm probably going to get demonetized for all the F-bombs that I know I just dropped without even paying attention. Oh well. I think I make like $1 on each video. Google's like, thanks for the free ad space. Here's your pennies.
Would they really just straight up demonetize you, even if you mark it not for kids, just for strictly like a curse word or two? Do you just get, is it just pulled like that, or is it just a certain set
No,
of ads that you'll get?
it's a certain type. You'll get certain types of ads. Part of it is you have to let it know what kind of content might not be safe for certain audiences. So you have to like disclose that when you publish each video, and then after a while they'll rate your videos for a certain type of audience, and you won't have to do that manually. So after we've done like about 60 or so videos total, I think that's when they're like, okay, your reviews all check out, so we know what to expect from you, and then they'll issue ad space to the bidders. They do like a bid auction sort of thing for ad space. It's an interesting setup. It's not making us any money at all, honestly. Like I think that since the beginning, it's made a total of $100. Just full disclosure for everybody, like the YouTube algorithm does not pay people very much, unless you're getting like hundreds of thousands of views on each video. Or if you're publishing 2 videos a day, then you need like 50,000 views a day in order to really be making a decent profit. Screw tube. I don't know. I don't know what Rumble's like. And you know, honestly, I don't know if I'm committed to making a switch just all of a sudden yanking things off of YouTube. Like we've barely even gotten started here, so this is fine for now. But who knows if things get out of hand, or if YouTube is like extra censory, which I definitely don't like Google for. I don't like their censorship policies. But we'll talk about that another time. We'll just see what happens here while we're here for now.
I was gonna say, Lord knows we're open to being creative.
For real. For real.
Everything just looks like it's like teetering right on the edge of
Yeah,
like for the last half hour of the day.
I'm over here staring at this PROG chart
I
because it looks like it
know.
wants to start. I don't want to miss it.
It's so like just sitting so close to that. Like it's slowly making those higher low minute candles, and like it's absorbing more supply off of these sell walls every single time. And they keep pushing their bids up. Like they're going, all right, $1.76. Nope, not gonna get it. $1.77, $1.78, and they just keep pushing it up, pushing it up.
Oh man, fun. I know you want to do it. I know you do. 326, man. Well, 325. 325 is what I want to see us blow past. Why does it keep switching based on my trading view? You're starting to make me upset now. Oh, look at that. BCTX is doing pretty good. Nice close for the day. Oh, I see. This is the 4-hour chart. I just happened to click into this by accident.
Ooh,
Oh,
PROG
yeah.
over $1.80. $1.81. Let's get it. Come on.
Yes, let's
Ooh,
go.
There's a big buy wall at $1. Oh man. Let's go. Come on. Getting through the levels one at a time.
I'm loving the jams, Mr. Boulay.
Are they safe?
We're sure that
jams?
this isn't going to YouTube, right?
No, it's or hold on. Actually, I'll double check, but it should not be because I can't hear it. So if I can't hear it, they shouldn't be able to. Yeah, no, it's not.
Really appreciate everybody jumping into the stream to hang out with us for the day. We're up to 110 likes. I really appreciate that. If you guys haven't sent us a like and you want to bring some more crowd into the stream, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to us. We're going to be able to do these a lot more often now. The analysts have been helping me out tremendously with getting content out there. So we have a little bit more capacity and more people on the team to consistently do streams like this. We'll be working together in order to fit a schedule that works for everybody. So there will be a lot more to see coming from us in the future.
Indeed.
Does TradingView have level 2 data somewhere?
I think you have to link it to a brokerage to get level 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
I was gonna say if you have a... Well,
I do have Webull.
does it show if you're not logged in?
I can log into my Webull account. I still have it. I just don't have any money there. I think I've got like $5 in there so that they won't close the account.
Just be careful of your account number.
I found out that that account number is totally meaningless. It's not the full account number.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Ah, yes, I do have my level 2 data. There's BKKT's level 2 data. See, is that showing on the stream? It is not. There we go.
Okay, so we do have CPI data coming out on February the 10th. Great job, Get Smarter, from our Discord with the info.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Boule. I don't know if you I shot you over the link as well for that. If you wanted to pull it up or anything. Or did I say Boule? True Demon. What am I talking about?
What do you need from me?
I DM'd you the calendar with all the stuff because you asked about the economic calendar. If we have any stuff coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. There we go. Let's go check out the eco calendar. What's going on? We got February the 9th, the wholesale inventories, federal, Michelle Bowman. What is she going to say? Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester speaking at noon. Okay. All right. So Jay Powell's not going to be speaking, but it does look like the Fed is going to have a few speakers come up to talk. If Jay Powell's not speaking, though, then I'm not that concerned by it. Because, you know, he's going to come up there with that money printer and he's going to say either brr or sorry, we're out of ink today. And then the market will, of course, crash.
I was really curious what sound effect you were going to try to come up with for the opposite of that. I was sitting here like,
the printer
like,
either
like
go
vacuum,
burr or
like,
it
right.
don't. Like that's it.
Like what kind of sound do you make?
Progenity. Don't tease me like this.
PHUN is really trying to figure out what it wants to do at that 318, 320 level. SPY, take a little breather after that 100-meter dash or whatever.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. As soon as the SPY cools off, then everything gets boring. We get one great big green candle and then nothing. Honestly, like, SPY's been doing next to nothing. Like, I guess it's a pretty big swing. Like, it's a $5 range, but That's not interesting. That's just the broader market doing what the broader market do. Now, if I see the SPY go ahead and fill this gap and go back to 460, then I'll be interested.
All right, 30 minutes, T minus. Let's go. Power half hour. Woo.
Do you think the SPY will ever see 500 again, Dad?
Are you winning, son?
Are you winning?
I mean, short answer would be like just yeah, just because I feel like the SPY is just gonna continue to rip until civilization inevitably crumbles. So yeah, I mean, if it's soon, which could be possible, then maybe not. But barring any apocalypses or anything, I think it's always gonna end up tracking back up. Like at least
Nuclear bombs are going off in the distance, like 100 years from now. Like the SPY fell an entire 2,000 points from $11 million to 10.98 million.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea how to measure points, so I don't know any of that. It's just making up stupid numbers. Don't anybody quote me on that.
No, it's the truth. It's like when Simpsons did that episode where they flash forward and Bart is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and Homer offers to buy movie tickets and they're like, that's $937. Just like, well, yeah. About right. Like, we keep on track.
Wow, BKKT, show me something good. 592. Let's get this breakout. Let's do it. I want to see this thing close above 590.
Ooh, that's a nice little kind of a Giganosaurus cup followed by a very small handle. Doo-doo, doo-doo. Well, technically more just a wedge than anything, but
it is a gigundous. This is a huge inverse head and shoulders right here. I've been staring at this for a while. I guess I'd never marked it out, but like we're way past it now, so what's the point, right? But like I look at this, like clearly inverse head and shoulders, and we broke down like straight through the neckline when it gapped up. That's pretty awesome.
Gigundous.
Gigundous.
I love that word. I think that's a first for me on hearing that one. Gigundous.
A special from True Demon Senior. My dad would say shit like that all the time.
I love making up words. It's great.
It's fun.
It really is. Because, I mean, they sound right. Like, that sounds 100% contextually accurate. It's not. It's not a word at all. But I believed you.
Is this an inverse head and shoulders over here, too? I don't know. Let me look at this chart. I gotta look at this. It is. It is. Look at it. Look, right before the squeeze, inverse head and shoulders with a rising shoulder.
Nice.
That's the same thing that it did before. Oh, wow. See, I love algorithms. I love algorithms. They show you so much. They tip their hands so much.
New SPY trying to recapture 451. Let's push.
Let's go see what BKKT do. I'm really looking
trying to
for this
recapture
breakout.
$6.
597.
Right,
all right. Let's go. Let's go.
PHUN trying to recapture 320. Broader market just pushing. Let's do it.
Sensionics is still hovering at 365. That's really nice. Very good to see that. AMC 1615 still holding strong. Will not break down below that $14 support. It just won't do it. I love it. AMC's got some room to move. Let's talk about AMC really quickly since we've been chatting about these other tickers. BKKT breaking out. Let's go. $6.
Ooh, SPY recapture 451, pushing.
Dude, I'm so excited. Cannot tell you how excited I am. All right. So just a reminder, we're watching AMC for its OBV, the on balance volume. This is an indicator that has consistently moved ahead of the squeeze every single time that AMC made a big move. So we had this bull channel on the OBV. Again, I want to preface this by saying this is not financial advice, and I'm not sure that any technical trader uses technical patterns with on balance volume to predict movements in the stock price. I'm doing this because I see a trend, I see a pattern, and I'm just drawing it, okay? So I don't know if this is like something that any other technical traders do. I'm just kind of doing it on my own. But AMC early on in November 2020 started to form this bull channel. It had a breakdown in the OBV, and then the OBV shot straight up, and the price only moved by a couple dollars, but the volume just spiked big time. And then immediately after that, the price squeezed to a massive $20 at the highest point. OBV kept moving up as the accumulation continued, and then fell into this consolidation. The consolidation on the OBV formed more of a wedge, whereas this one was just flat trading range. Okay. So AMC stock never bounced above $15. I want to say it was like 14.92 at the high point here in the middle of March. And OBV continued to consolidate down here before it finally broke down below this wedge, and then the stock was trading down at then a recent low of 956 or about 950. And then suddenly the stock shot back up over 1250, and then the OBV went through both of those lines. At that point, AMC was trading at $12, $13. OBV was over 3.28 billion. That was a change in volume of about 200 million shares. It's a big change in the on balance volume. And then immediately after that, just 2 trading weeks later, AMC squeezed on June 2nd and 3rd all the way to its just magnificent $72 at the high. AMC is now doing the same thing that it did in the previous squeeze period. If you subscribe to the cycle theory or what that guy Astro talks about, then this matches up with his theory. And if there is in fact a algorithm that's trading in cycles or an algorithm that is giving itself away through patterns, this is consistently the type of pattern that you want to be looking for. If there's some indicator that can give away when an algorithm is about to make a move, I feel like OBV is the one. Just because if this algorithm is doing what we think it's doing, and we think it's creating an accumulation or an accumulation of shares, if it's gobbling up shares and then selling short to drive the price down and then use that low price to gather up more shares, that's what OBV tells us. It tells us that in the selling, the on balance volume goes down a little bit, but when the price goes up a little bit, the on balance volume goes up a lot. And that consistent rise, that continuous just uptrend in the OBV lets us know that no matter how far the price falls, there's somebody who's willing to buy, and they're buying big. So right now, we're at the lowest point that we've been, or recently, 4.4 billion shares on balance, and currently we're at 4.57, so almost a 200 million on balance difference. If we cross 500 billion, that's the marker that I'm looking for. So watch this OBV indicator and see if it crosses above 5 billion. I'm guessing that if that were to happen, the share price would probably move only by a little bit. We're talking like maybe some back-to-back moves of 20%. So maybe we might see $26 to $30 thereabouts. Just a rough estimate. If the price moves beyond this, I'm thinking that that is the catalyst, and I'll be buying calls for deep out the money going into April, June, July, depending on when that cross occurs. I want to give myself at least 30 days to expiration on my options just to play things safe. We do have earnings coming up here for AMC. That's coming on the 3rd of March. We're expecting those to be very, very good because that'll include all the numbers from all of the major blockbuster hits that came out during the Christmas season. Including Spider-Man's No Way Home. That was possibly like, what was that, like the most recent highest grossing film in the world for the last like 2 decades. Right, right. Like, it challenged the numbers of Lion King. I remember everybody was talking about it, like, and Lion King was oh, man, I'm showing my age, but I saw The Lion King as a little kid, and I cried in the theater because of the lions roaring, and my parents had to take me out of the theater. So little mini demon couldn't handle the lions roaring in the theater because it was so loud, and it freaked me out as a child. So my parents had to take me out of my first movie.
Two little things. Fun is trying to make a new intraday high at the moment, and also, would you mind checking my DM real quick?
Let's see. Oh yes, absolutely. All right.
And Spy still trying to recapture. Ooh, oh, it's pushing too.
There we go. We got 20 minutes left in the market, so if you guys want to bring in some more people into the crowd to go and share the joy and the hype with, go ahead and hit the like button and share my recent tweet out with everybody. Let everyone know where you're hanging out for the Power Hour stream, and see if you can bring some new friends in here. We love to talk about everything that's going on in the market, broad markets, individual stock tickers, anything that you like to talk about. Let's see. Let's talk to the chat. BTC's pushing. I agree. BTC's been moving big. Let's actually put BTC back on the chart with BKKT holdings and see what BTC is doing against their stock price.
Oh, and we got
Yep, BTC started pushing, and so did BKKT. So this is what we're looking for. I like it. I like it.
You got another DWAC print, size greater than open interest. March monthlies, $30 calls, drop 300K, floor, ask side.
Hit me with that one more time. I'm going to write that down.
DWAC, size greater than open interest, $30, so deep in the money calls. March 18th, they dropped about 273,000. It was a floor trade and on the ask side. So a lot of DWAC prints today, so I'm assuming that means good things for both DWAC and PHUN. And PHUN is still looking strong at the moment. Spy looking to do something in the close. Ooh, come on, baby, let's go.
PHUN is moving with BTC as well.
Sheeb is having a nice turn. Of course, I'm sure with the crypto market as a whole.
Also, there's another print on PayPal 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago. Someone bought 125 call and at the same time sold 125 call.
Interesting. So they're betting on so that's a short straddle. No,
Yeah,
that isn't strangle.
I think they're gonna try and say that the price will move sideways at 125.
All right.
Oh.
When's the expiration on that?
38 days.
38 days, so March 18th, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so they're betting on sideways movement all the way up into late March, or that it'll close. That is a bet that at PayPal will close at 125 or very close to it on March 18th. So that's a neutral bet where they're betting on a decrease in volatility. Right now, they're expecting volatility they're expecting a drop in volatility for PayPal.
Yo, there's a lot of flow coming in for DWAC right now. All of them are buy to open. All of them are size greater than open interest. One is for $4.9 million for the $30 calls for this Friday.
Very interesting.
I don't know if that means that, hold on, 900 size, volume, 900. Yeah, so it's a new order. That is a buy to open $4.9 million on the floor at the ask for this week for $30 calls. And then followed by 386,000 floor at a 65, size greater than open. These are all for this week. I mean, I guess they could be buying back calls they sold. Hold on. There's no way.
You said that they were buy to open though, didn't you?
Yeah, no, here, I'll put it up for you real quick. I just
Let's
wanted
go
to
ahead
make
and
sure I
switch.
wasn't tripping before.
Yeah,
But
switch to your
that's...
stream and show everybody what you're looking at.
Yeah, I got you. Whoa. Where are you at? There we go. So be these guys right here. Share
DWAC
my
is
screen
making
in Discord.
serious moves. Wow, I didn't even notice this. The OBV, look at this. The OBV crossed above its previous highs. This is the signal that I was talking about that I was waiting for AMC. Oh, man.
Yeah, so I got these orders up, and look at these. Look at this. DWAC. These are all within the last, literally, like, since 341. And these are all either buy to open, size greater than open interest. This one's volume greater than open, but they're all floor trades, all on the ass side, and they're all, like, substantial size. 905K, 300K, 756,
Oh,
and then
wow.
4.9 million. Size 900, volume was 0. So this is definitely, as it says here, buy to open, sell to close. So this is new orders. And these are all size greater than open interest up here as well.
Very interesting. Okay.
3 days to
really
expiry.
And these
3 days to
yeah,
expiry.
they range. So like some of them, like the big $4.9 million order is this Friday. And that one
This
is
is
buy to
hedging?
open. So that's what's
There's
that's what's
no
confusing
way.
me. There's got to be something else going on. And it's a transaction
Is that
represents a
hedging or something?
I mean, maybe non-electronic trade executed on the floor. Yeah, so it was a person. Let's see.
There's a few puts to hedge, but like
look at all this bullish flow though. Like look at all, well, these are marked out, but look at all of the, I mean, these are all 50, these are all 50,000 plus single leg orders, all of these.
Can you screenshot some of this flow and start getting some tweets out there? I'll retweet what you're putting out there, Cap, but like this is big. That's a lot of bullish flow.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What the hell is going on?
And also, I think yesterday I called on that that dip being BS because I was like, they already had announced it was for March, like the whole thing, like or the first quarter or whatever. So like that was kind of yeah. So that massive drop seemed odd to me.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious.
Yeah, somebody knew that would create some fear.
Well, and
so
also
they used that as an entry, right?
We were on stream, I think it was yesterday, and right after that massive dip, I was like, man, there is a lot of bullish flow coming in, like huge, like 7-figure orders that were all bullish, like as it's tanking, and I'm like, there's no way, like this is a panic thing or like a algorithmic trading thing. Let me get this.
I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm gonna trade it. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna trade it.
Yeah, there's a lot of flow.
Yeah, PHUN is getting some attention as well on the 3 calls. But not as heavy.
Okay. DWAC. Those are all calls that are expiring this Friday. Yeah.
Not all of them, but that $4.9 million order was this for the 11th. I'm gonna circle that on there as well. Just,
PayPal just crossed. I just got an alert on that.
Oh yes.
PayPal crossing 120 out of a narrow bull channel, looking for a breakout to $130. I'm okay. I'm in. Fuck it. DWAC for what is that? March 18th.
Yeah, my PayPal is up nearly 10% already.
That was buy to order. Give me the strike and the expiration again, Cat.
Here, I'm posting it right now. Buy to open, where is it? $30 calls this Friday. The size of it was 900 calls. Or yeah, 900.
Okay.
Paid almost
So
$5,500 per contract.
okay. The $60 that they have are in there as well.
I just tweeted the screenshot and I just circled that giant order, but the entire thing is green, obviously, just like this one is.
That's nuts. That's a ton of calls. Those are all in the money. The delta on that, don't have my options chain in front of me.
You got 10 minutes.
All
Last
right, 10
minute
minutes.
trades.
10 minutes to market close. All right, guys. So DWAC is making some huge moves, and it's getting a little bit it's getting a little bit interesting with all this bullish flow. So there's divergence for DWAC. It's moved up to almost 300 million shares on balance, and that was the peak. That's above the peak in OBB at 282 million. Last time that it moved like this, it was an overnight increase.
Oh, PHUN at 330, pushing. Oh, let's go DWAC and PHUN together.
DWAC went 1,600% from sub $10 to 174. So,
Oof.
what can
Let's
I say?
go.
If I'm going to bet on something ridiculous, I'm going to go deep. Manage your risk, set your expectations low. But I'm going to buy some deep out the money calls for DWAC. One single call for a $100 strike.
Oh, is that true about Rumble? Oh, that's interesting.
The daily chart on DWAC really reminds me of the SPRT with that huge cup. Had the same run when they initially announced SPRT, when they announced the reverse merger, and then sold out from like what, 9, 10 to like $1. Very similar DWAC.
This options flow is strange, man. It's so strange.
Yeah, that's why I've been playing it for a while. I think I've been playing it for like ever since it picked up its volatility, because it went sideways for quite a long time after that run up. And then after it finally had that spike and it brought that volatility back, I've been kind of playing it, and it's just always. I mean, it's had some major craters, don't get me wrong, but it's just the volatility just always cranks up to the point where options are just get super juiced.
I like when options get super juiced.
I like juice.
You see in chat somebody said that Joe Rogan was offered $100 million.
I was just looking for like an article or something about that, because I've been hearing rumors that people were thinking Rumble was gonna try and pretty much snatch him up or whatever, which seems to make sense, all things considered. But I can't.
You don't see nothing on it?
I'm not seeing.
They
Oh, hold
posted
on.
on Twitter.
There we go. Let's see. Rumble offers Joe Rogan $100 million to bring show to video platform. Why can't I find anything on this? Huh. Rumble CEO wrote in an open letter to Joe Rogan, "We stand with you, your guests, and your legion of fans and desire for real conversation. So we'd like to offer you 100 million reasons to make the world a better place. How about you bring all your shows to Rumble, both old and new, with no censorship, for 100 million bucks over 4 years. This is our chance to save the world. And yes, this is totally legit." Yeah, so they're basically, it looks like they're just matching what Spotify gave them. They'll say, yeah, we'll give you 100 mil. Oof. Interesting. Got 5 minutes.
I had to make a slight adjustment. I'm getting $135 calls.
Ooh, look at the SPY ripping. Ooh, go, boy.
Yeah, Spy is moving, bro. 452. Who wants to tap it?
Let's go. Tap that ask.
For real.
MACD cross on DWAC.
Ooh, let's go.
This might be it. Check that 2 hour. That 2 hourly or the 1 hour. It's already crossing, or it's getting ready to.
PROG's trying to close strong too. Everything's trying to close strong. Let's go. Let's just have a merry old evening.
This
Speaking
is a
about
lovely,
that,
lovely day. Go
I need
for
to
it, Daily.
close out some. I'm getting out of my Express. I'm 70% up on that. I'm gonna get out of that.
I should probably get.
Uh,
I have a SPY call. I don't know if I should keep it or not. I think I'm gonna keep
Why
it.
play the SPY when you could play PHUN?
That's true. That is true. I mean, I already have a pretty heavy DWAC position, so I pretty much consider that fun. I don't know
Yo,
what I want to do.
my fucking Zeb calls are printing. But I bought these the day before yesterday, and it was a $5 strike. They're up 50%. Biden kind of did that, I think, talking about this EV shit.
He was talking about Texas Instruments too. I pulled them up and they were showing some green. He was just name dropping everyone. He was like, we call out everyone in that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get out of Zeb too. I can't complain about 50% profits.
Ooh, fun. Trying to crack 340. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's tracking exactly with BTC's price. Whatever Bitcoin does, PHUN does bigger.
Let's go. Ooh, baby.
Ooh, Express is looking like it's about to pop. And I just got rid of it.
Oh, and another. Fun at 342. What are you doing? Just want to run? Run for fun? You hosting a fun run for rabies?
No wonder I
What?
got it.
A little office joke. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Oh man, that's really pushing. Let's go.
65% rise.
Would love for SPY to close above 451.
An 18% rise in Bitcoin over the last 5 days resulted in PHUN rising 68%. So if Bitcoin continues this kind of momentum throughout the rest of the week, then I think we can expect some huge moves from them. BKKT, my calls are up 91%. Bro.
I mean, if you look at that
Bro.
that daily on PHUN next to the daily on DWAC, I mean, I guess you could argue that Bitcoin might be kind of going with both of them, but the DWAC and PHUN dailies are pretty darn similar. So I feel like DWAC is is the horse that's hitched to or whatnot.
Yeah, I
Yo,
agree with you.
Express is pumping. I know you see that, Fitz.
Yeah, they're looking good.
Whenever a stock just runs a little bit, he suddenly appears in VC. Like he has so many things going on, like a full-time job. But like if something moves like more than 5%, he's like, "Yeah, I saw that. I was already like, good old Fitz.
Ding, ding,
Yo, look
ding.
at that.
Ding. Whoa.
Wow, what a market close. What a market close. Holy cow.
Bravo. Bravo, guys. Bravo.
Indeed.
Killed the game today.
What a good day.
Where did we close today? Let's see. There was a sell-off this morning that had me down $1,680 and closed the day only down 200. So just today we recovered almost $2,000. More like 1,500.
Nice.
Express is up 3% in after hours.
I know,
Yeah,
and I sold my shit, bro. I'm not gonna complain on 70% up, but it's just whenever that happens, I kind of feel like it was a little bit too early. But
Hey,
sorry.
don't ever be upset with yourself for taking profits. You never go broke taking profits, remember?
Yep.
But one thing I am is constantly upset at myself for throwing profits directly into a flaming garbage can like I do on a daily basis.
AMC calls.
That's
No,
exactly what been chilling.
not even, which is way worse in my opinion. Like it's not even like, oh, hodl. It's like, why haven't you sold that yet? Like it's completely different
You
mentality.
cannot diamond hand an option. You
Yeah.
cannot diamond hand an option.
Very
I'll
true.
say it as many times as it takes. I'll let you know when I learn that lesson.
I know. It's like we were talking about earlier. It's like it's always a do as I say, not as I do. Like we can give some dope ass advice. I have the best advice, but I'm stupid and I never follow it. Yeah.
GameStop is, let's go ahead and do a quick review of all of our major tickers. So GameStop challenging its resistance at $115. The price is, the price is jacked right now. A double bottom, as Trey would call it, a George W. And we also have this rising rising wedge. Let me draw rating view. God.
Oh, I should probably be watching your live, shouldn't I? I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sorry, I still have my stuff up here. My bad.
No worries. So we've got a rising wedge, normally a bearish pattern, but coming up off of a double bottom and consolidation, we're kind of looking for a breakout here. And GameStop has been, well, it's been whipsawing us a little bit. We've been expecting some big things from GameStop since the big sell-off came down from $175. Now that we're here, a breakout of 115, we're thinking will put us up at around 140 if we follow these fibs. So this will be the next resistance once we crack through this 115 level. If we crack through that in post-market trading, as long as we don't gap down sudden or if we gap up, I should say, and we do not fill the gap, then we can expect that resistance to be challenged at 140. And we'll also be paying attention very closely to the OBV. Let's go ahead and switch over to the daily chart. As a matter of fact, let me go get my bigger chart up on this. So, GameStop, daily, go. I choose you. All right. GameStop on the daily chart, big squeeze momentum indicator movements. That's kind of, this is, okay, there we go. That's a little bit more sane. Sorry, guys. I got to fix these. Indicators. TradingView is screwing with them real bad. Okay. So, GameStop is challenging the tops of these levels on the OBV. So I'm going to go ahead and right at 145. me go ahead and set an alert on this. Horizontal line crossing above. This is our new level. So if we see OBV crossing above 1.4 billion on GameStop, then we know that we've got bullish momentum coming back into the stock, and hopefully we'll see a nice big volume spike to carry the price up above $200. This is going to be the next major level of resistance before we start to see shorts really get hammered. Just based off of the average short position on Ortex, we can go ahead and check that out another time. But for now, this is the price level that I'm looking at GameStop to cross before we have the potential to see another major squeeze. And if you notice, we have the makings of an inverse head and shoulders. We got the downtrend, first shoulder, and now a head. So if we're looking for GameStop to challenge 140, then we would be forming another shoulder consolidation, and then from there, the upside would be to $200. And if we make it there, then, well, we've got something interesting on our hands. Moving over to AMC. AMC, very much this very similar story. Right now, the OBV is trading at around 4.5 billion on volume, on balance volume. We're looking for it to cross above 5.5 billion on the daily chart. So 5.5 billion for AMC Entertainment on the OBV. If we start to see those levels, then we can expect the price to follow. Next step, we got Progenity. Progenity making us very happy today. We crossed $1.80 several times, and this is actually resistance that I wasn't even expecting us to challenge this week. So the fact that now that we're getting ready to break above this is extremely bullish for me. We've got this bull channel that we broke out of, and now we're setting up a new trend. This is the trend that we're looking at. This is just speculation right now until we receive confirmation. But if it holds true, then we should not break below 170 again after the end of this week, and we would expect for this trend to continue, for PROG to continue stair-stepping its way up to $2 from now until March. If a short squeeze is in the making, we don't know what would exactly trigger that, but we do know that most of the shorts have gotten into their position at around $2. So we're looking to put them underwater, and if we were to do that, then we would start to form another inverse head and shoulders pattern. This would be the first shoulder here at $1.80. We're getting ready to cross that right now. So if we, this would be the first shoulder. This would be the head, and then if we cross above 180, our resistance would be at 220. We would expect to see some consolidation there. May see a downside to $2 again. That would be the tip of the second shoulder. And if it continues to rise above that, then that would complete the inverse head and shoulders pattern, and our neckline of 230 would set us for an upside potentially all the way to $3, but or potentially to $3. But if there is a squeeze that were to take place, and that can all depend on other factors such as options, gamma potential, and whether shorts continue to pile in throughout this entire uptrend, and if they're wrong and the stock continues to move against them, then it's possible that we might get an even bigger monumental move in Progenity. Also, remember, we've got earnings coming up in the middle of March, and we've also got the Belgium Gastro conference that's coming up, where we're expecting a doctor to start talking about the implications of tofacitinib, again, a drug created by Pfizer that's going to be used in Progenity's uh, oral biotherapeutics delivery system, or OBDS. And if those two companies come into partnership, i.e., if PROG announces that they're partnering with Pfizer, we can expect a huge response in the stock. We'll cover BBIG today. BBIG, we've still got a consolidation. Our target has not really changed. We just have to move it out here a little bit. This is still being targeted for a short squeeze. Right now, BBIG has about 25% short interest on its books right now. That's a huge amount of short interest. The top that we had here at 550 was when we had a huge amount of volume come into the stock. The OBV is settled, but we're still looking for bullish volume to continue and then break the current resistance that we have here at 350. This is the first level that we need to break. We're looking for BBIG to cross 350 within the next 30 days or so, and then we'll see where we're at at that point. Right now, BBIG is settled at around $3, which is kind of what we expected. Could see it break down. It did touch 290 today. It may continue to dance around that price between 290 and $3 range before we see a big move. But at least on the positive note, we broke this. We broke above this downward falling wedge. This was broken a long time ago. But we're still maintaining consolidation here. So this is all bullish, healthy momentum. We're just waiting for volume to come back into the stock. We'll go ahead and cover. We'll cover 4 simultaneous plays that are all in the same vein. We got BKKT, BTBT. That's Bit Digital Inc., PHUN, and DWAC. So all of these are crypto plays. They all are similar. They all trade similarly according to whatever Bitcoin is doing. It seems to have an amplified effect on their stock. They're all running really well right now. So any one of these plays, you can look at their OBV. They're all pretty much doing the same thing. They flatten out, and then all of a sudden there's a pop in the price. Right now, DWAC is showing a lot of options interest. There's millions of dollars. Kat, if you want to recap us on the flow.
Yeah. Here. Flow was pretty significant going into close. Just for context of the parameters I have set for my flow. I have it at a premium range, minimum 50,000, all at the ask, calls and puts within 180 days, all single leg, so no multi-leg strategies. And currently, just cover this real quick. This is what I'm seeing. So the last one as an example to come through that I see, which was at 343, last one of the day, size greater than open interest. They bought the $60 calls monthlies for February 18th. And they spent another $1.5 million on that. The size was 600. Open interest was originally 540, so definitely cranked up on that. And then just an abundance of all bullish floor orders on the S side. All calls, all of these with the padlocks are buy to open. The little caution is size greater than open interest. So these are all new orders that, I guess from the validity of the information that this is showing, they're not like buying back calls or anything like that. Like these are new calls that they are buying to open. And one of them was for $4.9 million, which is quite a lot of change,
Can we go ahead and show the charts on this just to illustrate exactly the amount of volume that we're seeing? By the way, both puts and calls are in this flow capture that you got here, right, Cap?
Yeah, they're just really far down. That's what I mean. There's very, very little bearish
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and show us show the charts on unusual whales, just so that we can get an illustration visually of what the volume of these look like.
Yeah, let's see. So we'll take this last one for example. So call
Oh, I was
volume.
talking about the overall chart
Oh, the
with
overall chart.
everything
Okay.
together. Yeah, with all the pie charts and everything.
Gotcha. I'm switching all my windows around here. Oh, what am I doing?
No worries.
DWAC. It's today's breakdown, right? Is that the one? That is not the one. Why can't I make my brain work? I can't remember what page that is. Because I know exactly what you're talking about. The flow today. No, that's not.
You go ahead and pull it up. Okay,
Yeah,
I actually got it here.
You can do this back. Put you back up. There
I
you go.
think I'm still streaming. Okay, cool. Right. So currently we've got a ton of premium on the call side. Right now the flow has almost unanimously been on the sell side, but the recent flow that Cat is seeing, which we can see it all here, is almost exclusively bullish. So everything within the last 2 trading days for DWAC that's above $500,000 premium is almost all bullish. Let's actually go ahead and take this down to, let's see, we got 60 days to expiration, and let's set the time range to today is the 8th.
I pushed mine out to 180 days, and I have it set at 50,000, and that's even greener.
Yeah. So almost everything is on the call side. Even the bearish flow is on calls. But what I'm interested in is what their strikes are at. So the bear premium is all the way out to March 18th, $40. 25 and 30. 25 and 30 for this week. That's so strange to me. I'm looking at the chart seems like it's wrong. It doesn't look like it's reflecting this information correctly for some reason. Am I crazy? Oh well.
Most of those are really deep in the money calls.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what to make out of that.
Yeah, that's part of what's probably skewing this a little bit. I see there was a huge sell order for $30 calls for 3 days to expiration with a massive bearish note. This would be normally a massively bearish trade, but I'm wondering if this was like a silent agreement between 2 parties for an exchange of shares. I don't know. We can't speculate too much on it. All we know is that the most recent flow showed a ton of calls being traded on the ask side, pushing $60, and right now DWAC is trading at around 85, and all of those were bought deep in the money with huge BTO orders that were greater than the open interest.
Well, and that's where I get curious as well, because I could only assume that regardless of how deep in the money they are, they would either be intending to, I mean, if they're further out than obviously we've talked about, they may have the intent to exercise, and they still may. But I mean, I think it would just be a mixture of, I mean, the deeper in the money you can go, obviously, the safer it is for um, the intent of not relying strictly on the volatility. But when you're that deep in the money and then you have that volatility spike on top of it, I mean, that'd be a pretty significant pop if you're selling um, or I'm sorry, if you're buying the deep monies.
Well, in any case, there's currently a lot of speculation on these calls. Most of the premium is on calls. The flow has been it's saying it's mostly bearish, but I'm looking at the chart and the sizes are almost all towards the bullish side. It must just be this one sell order of calls.
And is that just taking into account strictly today? Or no, it is taking into account because, I mean, obviously we had that major harsh sell off. So I feel like that people probably were seeing that breakdown and playing significant amounts. Because I do remember seeing some prints, I think, yesterday and the day before for a lot of bearish on DWAC. And of course, it had that little announcement, oh, it's delayed to mid March, even though they said first quarter of 2022, which is still March. Yeah, so and then now it's kind of like I think bouncing back from that, but I mean I don't know if that's I think that would be including the bear premium, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I guess the other side of it is that selling all these calls, the delta on this would be extremely close to 1. So this would almost be like selling all of your shares at current market price, and the volatility on these would like basically not go anywhere no matter which way the stock went. So if the idea is that they're trading volatility and they want to close these later on, then I mean they've only got 3 days to do it. So I don't know. It's really hard to speculate on what the person that made this trade was thinking. It's
Yeah,
really
the
difficult to
sell
speculate.
calls, the sell calls I don't get. I was more referring to just the deep in the money bought calls, but yeah, the sell call is a little odd.
I mean, if you look at the amount of calls that are in the money between February and March, and this goes back to what Kat was saying about exercising those deep in the money calls. You have about 10% of the float currently in the money at this current price. So you have 29,000 in the money calls.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up my if I got my Webull chart. That's where I usually get my options data. So DWAC. Go ahead and pull up my options. I still pay for the live options data from Webull because it's the nicest source that I can get. So here, open interest on the in the money is, and then almost all of these were exercised. This is live options data. So if anything is still open, if anything was still open from these trades that were made here, then these would have to have been exercised. The 30 sell calls and the 60s, these all had to have been exercised, unless I'm somehow being delayed on my options data. The volume's not reflecting these purchases either, though. So maybe I am being delayed on my data. Maybe I can't trust the Webull data. That's
I think the OI only gets updated the next day.
Okay. Well,
what a day.
What a day. Do we have anything else to cover? Are there any more tickers that we need to review? Let's see. Bit Digital, it's pretty much the same. Like all 4 of these that you see on screen here are all tied to the price of Bitcoin pretty heavily. So if you're looking to play the SPAC, the DWAC SPAC, that one's the one that has the most unusual volume in call options, and the recent flow looks bullish to me. It's really weird the way that it's trading, and the OBB is lifting on it. It's kind of hard to see with this, but you can see the OBB is moving with the price. So there's good reasons to be bullish here. The Funware is another one. Very much, I think you said, Kat, that PHUN is kind of like tied to DWAC, so whatever DWAC does, PHUN's going to follow. BKKT Holdings and BTBT are pretty much by themselves and in their own right independent stocks, but they are tied to the price of Bitcoin pretty heavily. And you will probably notice that the pops in price coincide with each other. At least this one over here on BKKT coincides with the most recent move that BTBT made. And all the way back here, this is when BTBT made its big squeeze move, and BKKT had a pop in price that took it from a average of $10 to a high of about $18, $20. I believe that's all of our major plays going on right now. We're still paying attention to others in the market. Tesla, Peloton, there's some interesting news there. But unfortunately, that's all the time that I have for today. Thanks, guys, on the analyst team for joining me on this one. This was a long stream, so I appreciate you guys sticking it out and being here for this one. And thanks, everybody that tuned in on YouTube and in the Discord to watch us and keep throwing information and some different tickers for us to watch at us. And I guess that's it. Congratulations on the winners, and we'll be looking forward to doing it again tomorrow.
Thank you guys for joining, and have a good rest of your night. We'll see you in the morning.
All right, brother. Had a blast. Y'all have a good one.
Later, everyone. Good job.
Take it easy, guys.